right, hello everybody, and welcome to Roll with Advantage. My name is Joe, and as is tradition here on Wednesdays, I will not be your dungeon master. No, instead I will be the resident frumpy old man of the group. And on that note, let's roll the intro and get started. All right, and we're back. So with that, Jonathan, take it away.
Why, hello, everybody who's watching this session of Evrand. I think it's, 18 now?
17.
I think we're on...
No, it's 18.
Yeah,
It's 18.
I'm pretty sure it's 18, yeah. See? Look, I pay attention.
He's 18, you're right. Oh, I see
Like
now.
always.
See, I said my summary is over session 17. That's what the issue was. Last session was 17. God, I'm so stupid. I'm so sorry.
My God.
We were on track to not have an awkward intro.
You are the person bringing us off track now. Move along,
That's the
Jonathan.
session, everybody. Thanks.
Good job.
What's going on? Let's go. Come on.
Before we get to the summary that will be read by Joe as Rian, some like to call him Ryan.
Who does
We will
that?
first, Rachel, what is the look for tonight?
So tonight's look is basil, and it's supposed to represent mushrooms, which I'm sure
Yeah.
she has in her garden.
Well,
And she,
probably
you
not
know,
anymore, but
probably not anymore.
We are one.
She had mushrooms.
Mm.
Now she has sadness.
A different
Mm.
focus.
That's funny.
So, without
that's it,
further
yeah.
ado, thank you. Joe, do your thing.
What do you want? Okay. All right. Yeah.
Lindsay, sorry.
So, with that, go ahead and summarize. The 30th of Flame Rule. First part of this is from the perspective of Joe, because Rian wasn't there. Deal with it. All right, so I have something written this time, and I am not going to fuck it up. This is the first sentence verbatim. As as the summary begins, we will start in the mind of Joe. We see they having a meeting with Ada, an individual that has a vested interest in the safety and well-being of they. They inform they of an artifact that they have been searching for a while. An artifact that was stolen that is now most likely within the Whitecrest Mountains. They has a mission to make his way towards the Whitecrest Mountains and retrieve this artifact. From the perspective of Rian, italicized. What the fuck is it for a sentence? That doesn't mean anything. You ever write something and you don't read it before you go to say it? Ah, here we go. Got it. Ready. As we all decided what to do, everyone heads off to sleep. Okay, sure. I know I won't be able to sleep all right if I don't at least have some promise of Yrsa's health. Just when I thought I would do this by myself, Basil appeared and apparently had the same idea. Understandably so. The corruption came from her garden, so there might be a sense of responsibility for this disease Yrsa now has. I hope she knows that she's not to blame for it. She brought this material with her to have someone investigate it and come to conclusions to stop the sickness in her home. I wouldn't blame her any more than I blame Gideon. He was just trying to get out. I hope he understands that. Anyway, we were able to discover that Yrsa can be helped and will be helped in the morning. We head back and head to sleep. We all awake in the morning and plan our day. We plan to go our separate ways after meeting with Shatrine. While the meeting itself was productive to a degree, she apologized and informed us the mayor would like to speak with us. Hopefully we'll receive some additional compensation for aiding the city. I would like to continue to pay for the food and rooms so everyone has one less thing to worry about, since there are so many things changing and it's so easy to get overwhelmed, but paying for 5 extra people instead of just me and Akari is getting expensive. Regardless, I'll make it work. It would be nice, though. From there, we split off with a plan to meet back at the tavern. Yrsa, Gideon, and Vey head to the temple to find healing for Yrsa with great success. Basil, Gak, and I head off to the postmaster to check to see if Basil has received any word about her home. On the way, Gak and I talked about how all of this can be overwhelming, but how he is finding balance in this new chaotic world he's been thrust into. I'm glad to hear that. I was worried about him for quite some time. I know that he isn't dumb. Just sometimes he can be short-sighted or naive, and I'm glad to know that he's learning the ways of the world. And I'm glad that I'm going to be with him for that. Upon our arrival, Basil learns the truth of her home, that black sludge is consuming more and more of her garden. The military has stepped in, and they wish to know who's home and who started this. Basil was incredibly worried about her fate and her garden, so much she gave me a warning. Warning that she may be wanted by the entire kingdom of East Varia. Although I may have panicked a bit under the surface, I tried to stay calm while talking with her. I told her it would be best for her to share this with the group. If anything were to happen to her, it's fair for them to know. For all of them to know the truth. Sooner rather than later. With that, we head back to the tavern to regroup and figure out the next steps. And wait, there's one more thing. Back to Joe. I'm back. We got to talk about Gak. He learned more about his books and the magic within them from the local wizard Clara, the owner of the Ormanafermanakan. The spells are in there, and he knows how to use them. It's just different than anything Clara has ever seen or read about before. She tells him to go find in Raleigh an artist. If anyone were to have information to help, it would be in Raleigh. And with that, that concludes the summary.
Thank you, Joe. That summary was amazing. 10 out of 10. We'll let you do summary again.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
So, with that, we go back to our split of a party currently. We have Gak, who is currently walking out of the Omnipharmacon as he gets a note on his book saying, "Hello, Gak," which he can read. We have Basil and Rian over at the postmaster after receiving the information from Basil's friend back home. And we have Vey, Gideon, and Yursa, who I believe went to the temple to cure Yursa, which did get cured.
Yep.
So, I believe that the letter and the book would be happening simultaneously as the rest of the party, Gideon, Yursa, and Vey, you have walked out of the establishment, the temple that you had entered previous. Where are you guys heading, the three of you?
I suppose back to the tavern to regroup with everyone, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought we were doing last time.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
headed-
remember if we. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't remember if we had a specific meeting up point in mind. So the tavern just seems as good a place as any. We'll wait for them
Okay.
there.
But
Okay.
we still need to meet with the mayor, right? And we kind of need to regroup together to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is currently still on the docket, I believe.
And yeah, we'll head back to the tavern.
As you head out of the temple, you head back into the very muggy outside of Woebrook itself, still damp and humid from the rainstorm the day previous. You can still see in the distance over the bridge of the river the very small plumes of smoke from the Blackmore Manor. Still happening. As there the hustle and bustle throughout the market, you all head over to the Riverside Inn. And we will go over to... I'm going to bring us to the map real quick. Why is everything so loud?
Because it's immersive, Jonathan.
Yeah. Let me add more immersion. Give me a second.
Oh, yeah. More immersion.
Yeah.
Flood my
Yeah.
room with smells.
Oh my.
Dampen my room. let me really be there.
I hate it. You walk into the Riverside Inn.
Oh shit.
There is more hustle and bustle around the tavern. There are multiple people bringing drinks and food throughout all of the tables that most are currently full. Is there anything you guys want to do while you're waiting for the rest of the party as you enter into the Riverside Inn?
I mean, I imagine we would just try to grab a table as soon as one becomes available, or
Yeah.
pick a room upstairs for us to meet in, whichever works for everyone else.
There's about 2 more tables left in the tavern. One's this really long, kind of like 6 chairs on each side kind of table, kind of like one of those really long hall, great hall tables. And then another one is like this very small circular table that has around 6 chairs around it. You can choose either or go
We'll take-
upstairs.
We'll take the small table, right? We don't need to take the giant one.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Okay. So you go ahead and sit down, and Genlin comes over and says, "Can I get you anything? Back so soon? I feel like you all just left this morning."
Wait, you know, lots of back and forth.
I'll just bring drinks. I assume you all are waiting for the rest of your party like you usually do?
That
Yep.
is correct. Thank you.
All right. Okay. He turns around, walks back out.
Does he want you guys to go somewhere else?
Oh no, it kind of seemed that way.
What the fuck are you doing here?
You only saved your whole town, asshole, but fine.
He doesn't know that.
Yeah, well, it was implied. Anyway.
It's implied. Look at our faces. Do we look like we saved the town? Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Anyways.
The writings on the walls
Yikes.
of the burned down building, so there's no evidence.
We will head back to the other side of the city on River's End, where Gak is walked out of the Omnipharmacon, and quite literally straight across, about 30 or so feet, is the postmaster's office, where you can see both of your friends, Basil and Rianne, as they are having this conversation.
Gak's gonna look at the book, and he's gonna slowly shut it. And then he's gonna open it again.
The message is gone.
Hello?
As you're standing in the middle of the road, someone walks past you and kind of like nudges. Oh, sorry, as he walks past.
Sorry. Okay.
The rest of you, Basil and Rianne, as you're having this conversation out of your peripheral, oh my god, you see your tall friend Gak standing outside of the Omnipharmacon, looking at his book.
Of course, tomatoes are vegetables.
I mean, come on. We all know this.
Oh, hey, look, it's Gak.
I guess he got done faster than we thought.
Let's go
We
talk
should
to him.
Go to him.
Oh man,
We're good at D&D.
Gak,
is this what happens when you guys don't have an objective in front of you?
no, as this is happening, Gak just kind of puts his book away and puts it into his holster and just stands there.
Hey, Gak.
Hello, Basil.
Hi. Are you okay?
Yes.
Are you sure? That didn't sound super convincing.
Yes.
Is
Okay.
Gak telling the truth?
Make an insight check.
Can Basil assist? Because
Gak, do you feel that you need to make a deception check in this instance, or
Yeah.
are you trying to withhold information from your partner? Jesus Christ!
John, that's gonna be a 21 on my insight roll. So,
Well,
yeah.
Gak, what does Rianne ascertain from that? Also, Basil, you were rolling as well, right?
I was assisting.
Oh, well, that's okay. Did you roll with advantage then?
Still a 21.
Wait. Okay. In the future, I don't know how you assist with an insight check.
No,
but-
it's really easy. It's just that
You're just like, "Hey,
we
I think this is happening."
we both look at Gak and then we turn and look at each other. That's assisting in an insight roll.
Mhm.
Like
Okay.
you don't
I
believe
dig
this
it.
either. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Gak, what are your feelings that they can ascertain from the 21 that he rolled?
It's very clear that Gak is confused and lost in thought,
Mhm.
and he's not feeling aloof like normal.
Mhm.
He's not just kind of like lazily lost in thought.
Yeah.
He is actively lost in thought.
Mhm. Gak, would you
Okay.
like to talk about it?
I mean, I'm fine. So, no.
Well, if there's anything interesting that you learned, we'd love to hear.
Yeah. This is the thing I learned.
And Gak could have. Oh, John, I guess it's not in my active spells for the day. I was gonna try to do
Blur.
blur.
Yeah, it's on your spell list. I mean, I'll say in this instance you can cast it,
Okay.
because you just cast it, but it's not in your active spells.
Yeah. Oh,
We're
yeah.
doing it
Gak's
for narrative purposes, guys.
Woo! Gak is gonna cast blur, and you're gonna see he puts his hands on his shoulders, and then
You
there's
watch.
2 different shaky versions of him that kind of
Yep.
appear.
Oh wow.
In a swift motion in this faint, you see 2 versions of Gak that are kind of like just shimmering and shaking.
That's so amazing, Gak.
Very-
Clara.
Did you always learn how to do this?
No, I just learned. Clara just showed me.
Oh, wow. That was very nice of her. How hard was it to learn?
Pretty easy.
Good.
No problems. So,
Good to hear.
A gentleman walking down the street runs into one of the blurs. Oh, and he puts his hand through it. Sorry?
it's
You're
okay. You're
excused.
drunk.
Don't worry.
He just keeps walking, and you just hear him say, "What did I drink this morning?" As he just keeps. You lose one of your blurs. I'm just
Did
kidding.
Gak just gaslight someone?
Wow, Gak.
It's okay. You're drunk.
Blur, mirror image. Best gaslighting spells.
Respect has gone down. Random villager will remember that.
Respect -1. So, as you are having this conversation, where are you 3 heading?
Probably back to the.
We're just back to the
Tavern,
tavern, yeah.
Okay.
As we walk back, Gak keeps putting his book away, pulling it out, and opening it up, and then closing it and putting it back.
I think Rand might, as they're walking back, just sort of say, you know, Gak, I'm not much of an expert in Arcana, and I know that this whole arcane world might be a little new to you, but I know that it's different spheres. But have you ever thought about talking to Gideon about this type of stuff? He might be able to help a little bit.
I've thought about it. I know he came to me one time and asked about one of the spells I did. He kind of said that he has no idea how my stuff works and that it doesn't make sense. But I can ask him about it.
Well, Gideon's pretty specific, so if he already said that once, I don't think the answer's changed from
That's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know if
then
he's
to
gonna-
now.
Maybe his gun has a setting that can understand my book.
Maybe. All right.
Well, luckily we are continuing our adventures, so seems like we have a good amount of time to dive deeper into it.
Yeah, Claire actually told me about someone I could talk to
Oh,
in a next place that we're going to. I'll remember where in a bit, but I'm pretty sure it's in Raleigh. So,
Raleigh.
In Raleigh.
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
you know?
And that's the person, that's not the place.
Is it? You said it was on the way, so I mean, if we're potentially heading to the White Crest Mountains, is that in Riffolk?
I'll remember. I know I was looking at the map. And she told me when I was looking at the map. So I'll be able to remember.
Well,
I don't remember right now.
The only
That's
other
okay.
city on the way. I suppose it maybe be Artis?
You know what? It's a toss-up, Rianne.
Do
Could be either
you-
of those or none of them.
you remember the name of the person?
In Raleigh.
In Raleigh.
Oh, my fuck. Okay.
At this
Ooh.
point, the doors open to the tavern as you guys have walked all the way there, and you hear,
So many people. Hopefully the waitstaff is friendly and doesn't ask what we're doing here.
"I just saw you all this morning. What the hell? No." As he walks over.
Do people not eat lunch and breakfast here? Are you going to be surprised when we come back at 6 for dinner?
Leave my town.
Fine. Okay.
Says the DM. I'm tired of being here.
As you three walk in, you do see the rest of your party, Vey, Gideon, and Yursa sitting at a table.
Hello.
Take a seat.
Hello. I am much better now.
Really?
Yes,
Yes.
Good. Good.
that glow is back. That's good.
Hey, Yursa,
Yes.
can I give you a hug?
I would absolutely love a hug, Gak, and Yursa will hug him aggressively.
Nice.
Her arms turn
Make a
into
strength check.
barriers.
I told you all there was nothing to worry about. Here we are. All is well. So, those of you who went to the temple and set this whole thing in motion, thank you all. It is good to feel like myself again.
Good.
Well,
It was a curse.
it
Was
was.
it?
What was the curse? Like,
We don't
damn?
know.
I mean, it was a curse that appeared as a disease, though.
Well, no. Because Yursa can remove disease. It was specifically a curse that was removed from this, but it came as a consumption of organic matter. It's fascinating, really. Never heard of anything like it. If it wasn't super terrible, I mean,
The only reason I said that is because I asked John when I was writing the summary if you could compare it to a disease, and he said yes.
oh,
Well,
whoops. Yeah, you're dealing with literal Gideon here, who's like, no, remove
Presents
disease
as a
doesn't work on it.
disease,
Yeah.
but it's a curse.
yeah, it acted like a
What's
disease,
not
but
to
it was-
understand, guys?
I'm with you.
Gideon's literal. He's making sure there's no confusion.
No, it's not a disease. I don't care what it looks like.
It's a curse that looks
I-
like a disease.
All right. Semantics. I understand.
No, it's more than that. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. All right. So then, well, then I guess really what we have to worry about now is our next steps. I do think that what would be best for us is this issue seems to be on a timetable. So I think that we should, as soon as we can, start heading towards the White Crest Mountains. So, provided it's all right with everyone, I think that we should meet with the mayor today if we can. It seemed as though he wanted to meet with us as soon as possible. Figure out a travel plan by tonight and leave in the morning. The sooner
think
we get out,
that's-
the better.
Would be a good idea.
What time is it?
Uh,
It's still early in the day,
prob-
isn't it?
yeah, it's probably just hitting afternoon right now.
12:02.
So, well, yeah, it's 12:01 and 30 seconds.
Oh, just had to be
Wow.
contrarian, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yursa will speak up, and she'll kind of look over to Vey and say, "Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but you've mentioned that you are from this area and you are familiar with it.
Yes, intimately.
Maybe, if we're not in such a hurry, I think it might be a good idea if we all take some time and you could fill us in on what to expect. I haven't been that far north before myself, and I just want to make sure well, I guess we're all well prepared for what we're going to walk into."
I think something that's important as well is just customs, making sure we're doing everything correctly.
Right, no, of course. Easily enough said. We don't often get visitors, so just prepare yourself for that, I guess, is the first thing, in general. But after we speak with the mayor, I think that would be probably a better time to do it.
All right.
Hey, Vay. Every place that I've been to has been new. What is different about this place as opposed to the other places I've been to?
It's really cold, and it's really old compared to the other places you've been to.
Okay, is there... I guess when we get closer, you can tell us. But I know you said it was very, very strict, so I just want to make sure that I know, like, what to do.
Yes, I can tell you. He kind of like he pauses. He's like, "Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I'll tell all of you. I mean, just best behavior, you know." he's kind of looking around the table like really nervous because he's like, "Huh, multiple people have brought this up."
Let's phrase it this way, Faye. Based off of the way that we've acted in other places, with, say, the people in this town or the mayor of Humberfort, if we were to be meeting important people from your home, what way should we change the way that we've been acting? Aside from potentially everything.
Oh, Rian, I know.
Yes.
I remember when we met the mayor of Humberfort, we should not sit down until they came in. And they said that, so that's probably something that they do there.
Rian will look to
Honestly,
Bay.
I think that's more just a general politeness thing. I thought they did that everywhere. But apparently it's just me, so,
Not at my house.
apparently not. Yeah, no fighting would be the biggest thing so far that we seem to can't avoid, but we should avoid. No fighting, please.
What if someone else starts it?
They won't. Someone else will
Really?
not start a fight, no.
So I don't know if this is an issue. I've read about places like this where the fighting is never physical, like with what happened with Eldar in the mayor's house, but it's more political, more death by words. Is that something we'd have to worry about there?
Very much so, yes, I think, but that's more to do with my family and less to do with just general people.
Oh, lovely. We'll be able to meet your family then.
Yes, it is lovely that will be happening to me.
Are you
With all
close
of you.
with your family, Vay?
Extremely close, actually. First time I've not been with my family is here.
Are you excited to see them again, though?
Me too.
I am very excited to see them again.
I think Brienne's passive insight is gonna see Faye crumpling like a dying star, and it's gonna be like, perhaps we offer Faye a moment of reprieve. We allow them to relax from the interrogation. Let's eat some lunch and go talk to the mayor. How's that sound? And he's gonna look to Faye
Sounds
like,
good.
yeah?
Yeah. Yes. I'll think while we do that.
Just so happens at this point, food is put on the table, drinks all around. It'll be 2 gold pieces for everything.
I got it.
Brienne, nope.
No, too late. I said it first.
Oh my God.
You're just gonna pay for it, boys. Sit the fuck down.
The
Wait, I
waiter
already
does
said
look
it
over
first.
at as the waiter takes the 2 gold from Gideon and Rian puts his hand out. The waiter goes, "Oh, I mean, I'll take it."
Well, now you can't pull your hand back because that's an asshole move.
Brienne's got the 2 gold, and he like palms one of them and like hands him one of the gold coins.
The waiter grabs your hand and like puts your hand on top of it and just lets you keep it and just winks at you and says, "Don't worry about it," and walks off.
Do they not tip you, or is it just they just provide their servers with livable wages? Is that?
I don't know.
Oh, all right.
There was a lot of chemistry just there, Rian. I just want you to know. That was the hand was.
He did hold my whole hand. It was quite odd, actually. He squeezed.
Mozzarella stick.
You didn't see it, but there was a firm squeeze there. The eye contact. It was.
I saw it.
You saw it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably just because I'm so handsome.
He made your hands look really
Sure.
small, Rian.
Well, love can strike anywhere.
Okay, so as you all drink and eat your lunch, you all feel relatively full. What is the Seekers of Insomnia? What are you all doing now?
During lunch, everyone would have seen Gak had like kind of touched his food, but he had the book open, and I guess this should be a roll or something, John. But Gak's gonna pull out his like writing utensils,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna attempt to write the word hello because he's gonna try to remember what it looked like.
Make a wisdom check.
What is happening? Okay, there we go.
Ooh.
As you pull out your ink and quill and you start to write, you watch as the tip of the quill breaks and ink just goes across the entire page.
Oh, buddy.
Aw.
And then you watch the ink disappear from the page. All of you see that happen.
Yeah. Gak, do you need a new quill?
Yeah, I didn't know I had one, honestly.
Gideon pulls out a spare.
Thank you.
What?
I think he might
What
also
were you
need new
writing?
ink.
Yeah.
One of those as well.
Oh, well, thank you.
Were you drawing something or writing something?
Yeah, I was drawing something.
Well, what was it?
I was just writing down something I'd seen. Try to see if I could remember it.
Oh, well, that's really good practice.
Thank you.
He's
Yeah.
not going to explain anymore, is he?
Nick, I was gonna ask Nick, is Gak is withholding information, right? At this point, he's trying to be super vague.
To an extent, he is a little bit naive about it because the only thing he's withholding is the fact that he doesn't understand that he could read it. I don't even think he is like aware that it was like words. He just saw something and he knew what it said, so he's trying to write it again to see if he knows what it
Okay.
is.
I would like. Yeah. I would like Vey, Yursa, and Basil to make insight checks on Gak.
Okay.
You three have the highest wisdom, so
Gak kind of hunkers over the
other
book
than Gak.
and gets ready to try again.
Damn.
23.
Oh, okay.
Look at my little mini dice today.
Baby Daz.
The babies.
Yursa, with your 11, you're kind of just taking it at face value. Gak most times acts kind of like this, although there's something off a little bit, but not enough to kind of trigger like diving deeper. Basil and Vey, you two know and can tell that Gak is being he's unintentionally walking around the issue and has something that he's not saying to the group, but also it's more unintentional, and you can see that he's more on the, I guess, confused and thinking side of things.
Gak, I want you to know that we are so proud of you. And if there's anything you ever want to tell us, you can. You can trust us. But you don't have to tell us anything that you don't want to, or you don't feel comfortable or ready yet. Okay?
Thank you.
I just wanted you to know.
Yeah, I don't know. Just with Clara when we were like she was learning stuff and or teaching me, and I don't know. My book is a little weird.
Weird how?
Well, so you know how like my spells show up in my book, and you know how a couple times the book would like glow, and then I'd turn to that page, and then I would do something, and then something would disappear off that page, and you know how like all that ink got sucked up into the page just now.
Mm-hmm.
That's not supposed to happen with books.
Right. But your book is a special book.
Yeah, apparently it's not supposed to happen with most magic books either, like wizard books. That's what Clara said.
Okay. And did she give you any insight onto why your book is doing that, or what you can do to fix it, if you want to?
No. She doesn't really know. But
Okay.
like things keep popping up in my book, like those spells sometimes, and then they disappear. And something popped up in my book when I left, and I was trying to write it down to see if I could copy what it was. But it was like when things pop into my book, I can read them,
Mm-hmm.
and normally it's in the circle runes, and this time it wasn't, and it looked a little bit like letters.
Like letters.
Yeah,
Do you remember do you remember what any of the letters looked like? Even if you can't remember all of them put together?
I think so. I know what it said though. I could
What
read
did it say?
It said hello Gak. But like I was trying to write it down because I wanted to know what it, because I remember reading it. Like I remember like kind of how like I look at the runes and I could read them. So I looked at this and I could read it, but then it disappeared. So I was trying to write it down because I don't know what it was.
I would like to point out for everybody who's listening to the story, which is everybody, with any knowledge of anything arcane or just, books in general, usually they don't write back. This is a very, very uncommon scenario. And also, some of you point out are able to pick up on that Gak was actually able to read these letters for someone who's not able to read at all.
And Gak, I'm sorry, just to clarify, I don't remember if you've told us how did you come across this book in the first place?
I found it.
Okay, where did you find it exactly?
The woods.
By your home?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And when you found the book, did you show your parents?
Uh-huh.
Do your parents know how to read, Gak?
I don't know if it's ever come up.
Okay.
They know how to read.
Do they?
Insight check.
They would read me books,
Okay.
like little stories and stuff.
Well, when they showed you the book, did they see if there was anybody's name written in it, like someone who had previously owned it?
The only thing in the book is the circle runes.
Hmm.
And then sometimes other stuff when it wants to, I guess. I don't know.
And has this ever happened to you before?
Has whatever happened?
The letters, the book talking to you.
Was it talking to me?
Well, it said hello, Gak. Maybe it didn't verbally say it.
Well, it
Um,
also like things show up all the time in it and then disappear. So, is that also talking to me when they show me the spells?
Well, I feel like the spells are a little bit different than it actually saying hello, Gak. Do you know what Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, it looked like letters. I don't know if it was. I just know that it
Gak,
said hello, Gak. Yeah.
Hmm.
could I borrow your book for about 10 minutes?
Yes. Yes, you can. Here you go.
Gideon, at the table, will ritual cast Identify on the spell book.
Ooh.
Okay.
Can Gak try to write hello Gak again?
Where? On the table or like a napkin or something?
He has like spare paper in his bag.
Make an intelligence check.
Okay.
Hey.
Ooh.
Okay.
Chad.
15 is good. However, for a person that cannot read or write, as you start trying to write it, you get the H out, and then your mind wanders, and you're trying to figure out what the next letter was, and then you don't remember the formation of that letter. You get H. Okay, Gideon, you cast Identify. Can you tell me exactly what the spell says it does?
Yeah, totally. You choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it is a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. And then if you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it. Ooh, John wasn't expecting this.
Was not expecting this. I would like you to make an Arcana check.
Interesting. Okay. Uh, 21.
Okay. As you cast Identify on this book, it is obviously a magical object. With your Arcana check as well, you are able to pick up pretty quickly that the arcane magic running through is not divinity. It is not anything created by the gods in the sense. It is pure arcane focused magic, and it is old, very old. You pick up. It's difficult to pick up all of the properties of this, but the gist of this book that you were able to pick up, and you were finding a really hard time getting a connection with it. It does require attunement, and you are able to ascertain that this item, for anybody who is holding this spell book, it can be used as a spell focus, but at the same time, even if the user is not someone who has magic, they can cast magic through this book.
Oh, that's interesting. Gideon will share all that, of course. And sound very perplexed while he's saying it.
Well, Gak, it seems like you've gotten a very lucky find.
So what is that? What does it mean?
Any number of guesses. It was created by someone very powerful to have an object that allows the user to inherently be able to manipulate magic on their own is not an easy feat. Magic is a part of everything, but only certain people are able to ever really get a true grasp on it to work with it. But just the fact that through you holding this book, you've been capable of doing what you've been doing, that's... Never heard of anything like it.
I would also like to go on top of what I said because of your Arcana check, your investigation, and because of your innate ability to pick up on magical items and all of that jazz. This is an artifact.
Oh. Yeah, he'll mention that.
So, I know, like, none of you are wizards. Do you guys know any wizards other than, like, Clara?
I used to.
How do wizards normally cast magic? Don't they use the book?
Yes, it's more complicated than what you do, though, for the most part. Usually it's a lot of studying. It depends on the spell. There's usually incantations, runes. It varies from wizard to wizard how exactly they gain their grasp on their magical prowess, but a lot of studying, a lot of tinkering, a lot of practice to really make sure that when they launch fire out of their hands, they don't set themselves on fire. It's a thin line, and one that requires a delicate hand, usually.
So, do wizards have natural, like, magic ability? Or is it all stuff they learn?
Well, most of the time, it is learned, and there's... what's the right word to use? Something that I use. My magic and Basil's magic, they are more from the nature around us. We pull it into us. It's something that was always inside, maybe is the best way to put it. But with what you're dealing with, it, just like Gideon said, it's something that you must study and practice and hone. It's not necessarily something that you just are born with in this sense. So the fact that somebody has created a book like this, and anybody who has no magical means or studied at all or any inert magic, they could just pick this up and use it. That is a remarkable feat.
Okay, I was just worried at first because it sounded like so when it said like anyone without magic could use it, I thought that was like a problem. Like I wasn't like, oh, I don't have magic. But if all wizards are like they all learn it, this is basically just a shortcut.
More or less. Close enough.
Well, I will say, Gak, I hope I don't give you the wrong impression. It's not that you don't have magic. It's wizards, there's something, a skill, more so, that they know how to control it and utilize it. And I think that it would definitely take skill in order to be able to use this book, which you have.
Gak, it's interesting. I think that the way you learn things, at least the way that wizards typically do, is really similar to the way I learned how to use my sword.
How'd you learn?
I found someone found me to train me. But other than that, I was self-taught. I experimented. I tried new things until eventually I figured out the best way not to get hit. So maybe this in Raleigh that you told us about on the way here can show you a few things, just like someone showed me, and then maybe the rest you can teach yourself.
Just like Clara, she taught you something new. You got new messages to appear, and it seems like you're growing stronger and more connected to it every day.
You'll be able to find new mentors along the way.
Yeah, I cast a spell without the book at Clara's.
Yeah, Really?
Oh.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
What spell? How did it go?
It was the one I showed you guys earlier.
Okay.
The one where I'm blurry.
Yes.
I have a new spell, guys. I'll show you sometime later. It makes like a bunch of blurry me. It's really cool.
I think, and she says all this with a smile on her face, of course, magic is not something we're meant to fully understand. It can arrive and be used and thrive in so many ways. And the fact that you have been gifted this Gak is incredible. And there's something to be said for the fact that you don't necessarily need it when you're casting certain spells.
Gak, I just had a thought. And I don't know if this is something you've tried before because it sounds ridiculous. But I made the comment earlier about how you and I are fairly alike in the way that we learned, and this book is very special. It's not like other wizard spellcasting books, and the same is true for the sword that I carry. So, please forgive me for how weird this may sound. Have you tried, and you can see him kind of grimace, have you tried talking to the book? Communing with it, connecting with it in a different way than just channeling magic from it, trying to connect with it?
I tried to talk to it earlier when you guys were yelling about stuff outside of the post office, but it didn't. That was right after it said hello, and I tried to say hello back and it didn't do anything.
One thing, I mean, everything's different for everybody, but maybe the next time you try to talk with it, you could try and do the same thing I do. Find a moment alone and almost meditate, right? Think deeply about what you want to achieve. Try and clear your mind of all thought except for the one thing you want to try and communicate with. And maybe that'll create kind of a clear channel, like when there's a whole bunch of kelp or mud in a small river. As soon as you clear that stuff out of the way, the river can flow much easier. So maybe if you clear out the muck and the dirt, leaving just a clear channel for those thoughts to travel, you might have more luck.
I'll try it.
Worst that could happen is that the book doesn't talk to you, same as it really hasn't been except for the one time outside of the shop. So, not much to lose.
John, there's nothing that Gideon identified from the book that would explain the book talking to Gak, was there?
No.
Gak, this is all very exciting, but I would also recommend some caution with this.
I was gonna say, sorry,
Go
I
on.
know. Keep going. Sorry.
Are you sure? It
Yeah,
might be important
go
what
ahead.
I'm about to say.
Nope.
Okay.
Go.
This is... correct me if I'm wrong on this, John, but this might be the most powerful magical item I've ever gotten a hold of.
Yeah. I mean, for anybody, especially with Gideon, Vey, and maybe no, I think it would only be Gideon and Vey that would have maybe studied what artifacts are, and know what they are. Most artifacts were created in a time where the arcane was at its utmost peak. Those who have studied, actually, Vey and Gideon, make a history check.
What is my history?
18.
14.
So Vey, you would pick up on that most artifacts were created during what is known as the Age of Arcanum. this age of peak magic and arcane and civilizations thriving through this arcane use, and everyone kind of figuring out and using this arcane throughout life as a whole. The reason that most of these artifacts were made back then is because most artifacts are thousands of years old, and it takes at least 1,000 years to create an artifact. Gideon, this is, yes, the most powerful thing that you have ever come across in your studies and your travels. And you know that there are possibly 5 artifacts in total in the world that have been found. The fact that Gak has now a 6th is very interesting. Also, I would like to point out for both Vey and Gideon, who would know this, artifacts were created during the time of when the gods were kind of on this plane. They're also very sought after. Like, there are groups of people who go after artifacts and try to find them, and people have died fighting amongst each other, thinking that they found an artifact.
So, Gak, what I mean by that when I say this is that there's a few concerns that immediately come to mind. One, and just kind of like holding up the book, this is not something that someone drops and forgets about.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that people are killed over. So I'm very concerned and very confused as to how it was just left in the woods outside your house.
There's lots of things that I find in the woods.
I believe you, but this took a really long... He was going to say the number. This took a really long time to make. Like, a really long time. I'm going to recommend that you not tell anyone else about this.
Okay.
Do I believe you?
I think you should.
No, that was Ryan asking.
Yeah, Gak's not.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure, like, you're not going to go to Arm to Farmer Con, are you? Like, immediately. Alright, Gideon will slide the book back.
I would also say that probably we want to table this conversation until we're alone and not in a tavern. Just be aware that not all things that have sentience are kind and have the best intentions for those they are trying to direct. We might want to discuss that further later when we are not surrounded by people.
But thank you for telling us, Gak. This is very important.
I'm glad I told you guys. Thanks for helping.
Of course. Well, I suppose then if everybody's finished with their lunch, we should head up to the mayor's house.
Works for
I
me.
believe so.
Okay. So, as you all make your way out of the Riverside Inn, and every time I go to say that name of the tavern, I like stumble because I'm like, am I correct? I don't know.
Even if you... Oh, shit. Who's playing the
Oh,
piano?
this is nice.
I don't know,
Oh my
but
God.
it's great.
Are you fucking... Miyazaki who? What the hell?
Back.
We about to see a fluffy bunny standing on 2 legs with a leaf on its head?
Oh my
Hi,
god.
everyone.
God, I hope so.
The wreckage of the Blackmore estate is all down, and all that's left is a piano and a blob playing.
So as you make your way across Blades Crossing to River's End, making your way to the mayor's estate, the Breveheart estate, resting atop a large hill that overlooks the entirety of the city, you see a beautiful 3-story mansion Alongside that mansion is another very beautiful 2-story house, and to that side is another abode. It's almost like this cul-de-sac of buildings. You can see that the estate has this almost like I don't know exactly. They're like the overlaid shingles that you would see. Oh God, I don't know what they're called. They're like the ceramics shingles. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm.
These very bright, vibrant orange roofs with these beautiful, dark wooded walls that cover the entirety of the state, almost like this log cabin in a way. But there's also stone throughout. It is immaculate. There's no vineyard here. You are used to every single one of these abodes having a vineyard. Instead, there is a beautiful garden that takes up most of the back of the estate, and there is a fountain in the center as you walk up. However, as you are walking up, there is a large steel gate that surrounds the abode. The gate has the, I forget what they're called, the pokers or whatever, little spikes um, surrounding, and you see 2 guards that are posted there with pole arms. And walking throughout the estate, you can see multiple guards. It looks to be 6 or 7 just from what you're looking at. And they look towards you and say, "Can we have your business here?"
The mayor had left message with the town guard Chitrine that he wished to speak with us, the Seekers of Insania.
They look at each other. The other one looks to all of you and says, "Ah, yes, we have told to expect you. Right this way." As
Thank you very much.
they turn. I would also like to point out that the guards here are wearing the normal Red Legion attire. However, it looks like they have customized armor in a way, and there's a symbol on there that looks like an arrow piercing through a heart that has like a harp behind it. You all know that from the ball previous, this was the symbol of the Brief Hearts. As the gate, as it opens to the estate, you walk through this stone walkway past this fountain. The fountain is what looks like 4 kinds of large fish that have water spewing out from each of their mouths into this basin at the bottom. As you walk around, you can see, walking from behind one of the buildings, once I get the image.
Oh, shit.
Prince Caspian, who?
Oh, his shoes got them points, though. Ooh.
You see a well-dressed, well-groomed Lord Stefan Breveheart as he looks to the party and says, "Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Please join me behind the house at the garden, if you would."
Of course. Thank you very much for your gracious invitation.
Thank you. Please, we have much to talk about. As you are led around to the backside of the house, you can see a beautiful garden with giant plants that make up most of it. There is a stone walkway that leads to a central towering gazebo structure, and past that there is a patio with multiple sets of furniture underneath what is considered a pergola. This kind of crossbeam wooden structure that has no real roof, with these vines that kind of wrap in and out of the structure itself. You can see sitting, drinking wine, is Lord Stefan's wife that you met previous at the ball, Lord Amina Breveheart, the one that looked like this. She currently doesn't have this attire. It's more laid back, more.
Is she still peacocking? Because, man,
her hair is down. She doesn't look as peacock. Her hair kind of goes past like the rib cage, and it's very curly. But you can see there's also frizzing from the humidity in the air. As he looks to all of you and says, "Please, have a seat. Does anyone want anything to drink, to eat, at all?
I just ate, so I'm good. Thank you, though.
I agree.
Yes. Thank you. We appreciate it, though.
Do you have water?
We do. Is
Uh,
that what you prefer?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
as I can try to find my freaking... Where's my music?
I thought you were
There
going
it
to
is.
say try to find water, and I was like, I don't know where it
All
is.
right. Where's the water at?
As you say, water, you see him clap his hands, and some servants come out and say, yes, my lord. Yes, please fetch me water for this one, and no one else wants anything to drink.
It
Food.
is quite hot out here. I think water would also be fine.
It's
A
good to
large
stay
pitcher of
hydrated.
water. Yes, my lord. As the man kind of bows and leads off into the homestead. As he sits down and gestures for all of you to sit.
I sit.
Yes.
Same.
Good. He leans up.
I'll stand, thank you.
Every time we all go through one by one and explain that we're sitting.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. So as he sits there, he says, well, first off, I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you. And he looks at each of you as he says this with a sign of respect. Had it not been for you, myself, my lady, and almost every single noble in the town would be dead. You saved our town. And I don't even know most of your names.
I suppose that in the heat of the moment we must have forgotten that part. I have to admit, we're all still a little new to this, but you do us a great kindness. I'm Rian Alvain. It's a pleasure to finally officially make your acquaintance.
You as well.
Rian
Gideon.
exhales.
As he looks to every one of you, we don't have to play out saying the names, but the names are
I'm-
given.
I'm
Unless-
Vay. Just kidding.
I think I
Autumn.
actually do know Vay. I forget who danced with them, but I believe it was Vay.
I know I danced with the orc.
Who
He
danced
left-
with them?
He left.
Mm.
Maybe
I think it was Basil.
it was. It might have
Oh,
been, I
was
think it
he?
was- yeah.
Rewind. Well, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I wanted to invite all of you here to formally thank you, and on behalf of everyone in the town, even though a lot of them probably do not know of your service and what you have done for the town. And be aware, if you would like, we will definitely make them aware of who saved our town from those horrible creatures. I have an offer for you, should you accept it. I, talking with the other families, would like to reward your group for your deeds to our town. Without you, this town would be mayorless. All of the vineyards would be, well, rot of their owners and would probably be taken over by vampires. We would like to reward your group with a sum of 3,000 gold pieces. And a plot of land. Now, there is no home on the plot of land, but it would be yours to do with whatever you like.
Wow. That's a lot.
Well, what you all did for us is more than we could ever repay. Please, someone say something.
Yes, it's sorry. It's a large amount of money, and I think I can speak for everyone when I say we are indeed very grateful for this, and of course, we didn't do what we did for the money, but it is nice to receive.
I'm sure it's at least helpful.
Oh, God, yes.
It is my understanding that you all consider yourselves an adventuring group? A party for
We're
technical
working
hire?
on that.
So far, yeah.
And practical, not even just technical hire. We
Hmm.
do it all.
It's more like accidental hire. We have our own stuff we need to work on, and then we just get recruited along the way.
Well, it's always good to stumble along money on the way.
Indeed.
Yeah, very much.
Unfortunate for the circumstance in which you get it. But yeah, I know this is a lot. This is quite a bit of money and quite a bit of responsibility on your part, and I do not expect you all to give me an answer currently. If you would like to, you can, but you could take your time.
I mean, speaking for myself, we can certainly take the coin with much appreciation. I'm just not certain what we would do with the land.
If we didn't have the land, what would you do with it?
Well, that I do not know, actually. A very, very large plot of land actually just opened up not too long ago. We'll have to take time to sort out the difficulties of using said land, which is part of your portion that you will be receiving. We have no plans currently. You could build whatever you want there. You could use it, rent it out to someone else. Do with what you will.
I think that
Sell it.
and I think that any of those things would be acceptable. But I think that's something for us to talk about when we have a bit more time to discuss it on our own, not to waste any of your valuable time.
Fair.
And I have quite a lot of time currently with me not being able to get in on... Well, the guards are taking over most of what's going on, so I'm kind of overseeing everything.
Okay.
I think it will take roughly a month or two to clear out the land. So if you want to take that time to think about that portion, I'm sure there are, looking at the party, you will have some sort of magical means or means of communication in general, letter, magical, regardless. I do not intend to keep all of you here until that is sorted out.
Well, we appreciate it, and we'll be sure to let you know of our answer as soon as we come up with one.
Very well. He looks over towards Vey. I remember from, well, hearing it from the grapevine. You are from the White Crest Mountains, correct?
Does everyone know this man? I feel like, yeah. Vay's like, it must be the fact I'm blue. That's what it is. It's
Blue?
giving me
I
away.
And
heard it
covered
from
in
the
snowflakes.
Pride songs.
Yes, yes. He'd nod. I am indeed.
Now, I hope I'm not being too forward, but seeing as, well, someone in your station, we were able to make it to the ball, you have to be of some importance in the White Crests, correct? Or is that too bold to assume?
Not bold at all. I am, in fact. Were you, needing something?
Not so much need as I would like to possibly establish business there.
A trade route, you mean?
Correct. Again, from hearsay from the Pride songs, you tailored your own outfit at said ball, and I have heard that the customs and clothing coming from that area, which I've heard no one actually knows where it's coming from, is quite extravagant. And, well, he kind of gestures to the abode. I like extravagant things, and so do the people of Woebrook, especially the Vinters. And, well, the capital does as well. So, again, not to rush anything, you don't have to agree to anything. I'm curious if that's even something that can be accomplished.
Well, our trade routes are guarded quite jealously, but I think I can absolutely talk with my family, and we can see how we can accommodate that. I know they've been wanting to expand further into Velamine proper, so I think there's a good chance that that's feasible. And I'm sure I can include that in with the missive we send you. When we decide
Cool.
whether or not we want to be landowners in Velamine, that heavily rewards landowners and gives them more respect and station, and generally is a good thing to own land in the country. But it's okay. We can talk about it afterwards.
He looks to the rest of the party as Vay says this. Right.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I look forward to hearing back from you. I will keep my ear open. Know that the trade route that could be made, of course, being a town made of wine, that is something that we can establish.
We do love our wine, so
Good to hear. Good to hear. We have a lot of it.
Apparently so.
I
Yeah.
have a question out of character, real quick.
Yeah.
Did Gideon share with all of us that there was vampire wine that was being sent to other places?
We mentioned it to the captain,
Yeah, we mentioned
to
it.
Shatrine.
Okay. Gax,
Evil
when
vampire wine.
when he says that like they like to ship wine, Gak kind of just like looks looks at Gideon and is just kind of like, and he doesn't know what to say. He just want to see like, do we bring it up?
We'll let someone else do that.
The
This guy really likes us right now.
Stefan looks over and kind of like gives this awkward smile. He rolled a 2 on his insight check, so he's just
Hey.
well, at the very least, at least let me have you leave here with your reward.
Yes,
Yes,
that would be much
please.
appreciated.
Now, real quick, out of character, do we think that it would be wise as a group, since I think we're kind of all in this together now, for the long haul, do we think it might be wise to have a general party fund that we use for paying for drinks and food and inns and health potions and things like that? We don't
I
have to
was
use
thinking
we don't have to use the full
Yeah.
3,000, but like maybe part of it goes to that.
There's a
have a
banking
shared-
system.
shared
There's a
bank
bank
account.
here. Yeah, there's banking in this area, so we can open up a bank account. I'm not joking.
He's right.
I'm not joking.
Yeah. While I think that investments are the strongest way to develop a financial portfolio, I'm more so meant. I don't think we need to get a shared debit card together.
Can we stop talking about real life in my fantasy game, please?
you
guys
said
want
it
credit
with
cards? Get your credit score
such
start going up.
conviction.
No, I mean, Jonathan, the international banking system in this world still exists, right? Yeah. So, like, in each continent, there's banks that you can go to withdraw money that transfers over.
It's like a
whole.
center.
Yeah, like it's a whole system because it's it's magical, right? So, like, it's great because you don't have to carry around, all your gold. That's,
Don't trust banks.
Oh, I mean, like, if we don't want to trust the banks, we can carry around all our gold. I'm just saying, I feel like since that's a resource that exists in this world that we would know about,
Is it common? Like, you said it's in every continent, but is it in every city?
It's in most major cities. Like there's a massive bank in Alden, which is the capital of Eastvaria. There's a massive bank in Valamine, the capital. There's a massive bank in Thulbadir, which is the capital of Dagram, and there's a massive bank in Al Shaham, which is the capital in Siri. And there are various branches, or there's various like buildings you can go to take out gold and deposit, and it does work magically. It is quite literally like you put some stuff there, it teleports across to the massive bank, and then you can. It is a deposit, checking, savings, all kinds of stuff. Go ahead.
Back to Joe's original question though. Like, what were you thinking, Joe? Like, everyone contribute like 30 gold, 40. Like, what was your suggestion for that?
Well, my suggestion was starting at like say half the money we got from this. Just nobody contributes anything now, but half of the 3,000, 1,500 is like party fund, and we use that for health potions, food and drink, staying at taverns, and that should keep us afloat without having to worry about it for a while. And then like every time we get paid as a group, like 10% can go into that party fund.
I like
I mean,
that
1,500's a lot for a party fund.
If
Like,
we
that's
want
a
to do
lot.
if we want to do less, we can do less. I just know that'll keep us secure for a long time.
All I'm saying is 1,000 gold for a diamond for Revivify. That's all I'm saying.
And then health potions are, I mean, we're getting to higher levels, so health potions are going to start running like 500 gold a pop, on average. Because right now they're what, 150?
Something like that. Yep.
Yeah. So the next tier is 500. So
I will also tell you that Stefan claps his hands, and there are 6 pouches brought out, each of you getting 50 gold. Or 50 platinum. 50 platinum.
I was like,
I was like, what?
you liar!
You bastard.
Ooh, go ahead. Sorry.
So I'm cool. I'm down with whatever. If we just would rather cover it, if we want to do 500 gold, if we want to do 100 gold, if we want to do 7 gold.
I do have a question. Do you guys maybe do you want to solve this now, or do you want to solve it like after session?
We
Yeah,
can
we can solve it after.
we can put a pin in it. I just wanted to.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I'm not gonna throw shops and things in front of you to buy. So unless you guys are buying it right now, you're good. Right now, currently.
I was gonna shop right now. I have stuff I want to buy.
Well, you have 50 platinum to do so with whatever you like.
Yeah, I was hoping to find, because Revivify is a pretty important spell, I would think. So if there is a diamond.
It's like a D tier spell, honestly.
Wow.
I'm joking.
D-tier spell.
D-tier spell.
Just brings
What
people
is
back
that?
from the dead.
That's why it's
Yeah,
I
but
would like
you have
to-
to do it within 1 minute, so it's like, is it worth it?
It's really just
Well, luckily,
CPR.
Basil throws herself into dangerous situations, so she can get
Can't
there in
revivify
20
herself.
seconds.
She's going down and she
Bet.
crushes the diamond, casts Revivify herself.
As a reaction.
Get it, bitches! And it just gets back
Like
up.
her soul comes out and she's like, like
So I will say with
Alright,
that,
so-
go ahead.
I was about to say, like, again, I'm all for a party fund, but I've only heard from Joe 1,500 gold. What does everyone else think?
I think I'm okay with figuring it out later after a session.
yeah.
Because like yours,
Okay.
I have like, unlike Nalfian, pre-Nalfian, early days Nalfian, like yours doesn't really care about gold. Like that's not a thing. But as a player, like obviously I kind of have to care a little bit. So like I think having a party fund's a good idea. I don't really know what the right number would be. If you think 1,500 is too much, we could definitely do like 500 gold to start and have it grow.
Well,
We
I
can,
think
like,
also,
semantics.
yeah, I think also like we can just focus on buying what we need, especially, don't worry about how much we'd keep inside of a fund. Just go get the stuff that we need before we go to the White Crest Mountains, and then after we spend the money that we do, then we can compile what we have left and then decide.
I would also say that if you guys are very adamant about figuring this out, you could talk about it on the break.
Yes. Table
Right.
it for now.
With that, I believe that Stefan will look to all of you and say, "Is there anything else that I could help with?" Before I assume you're not trying to stay here too much longer.
We were planning on leaving in the morning.
Oh, is there anything that I can assist with or get you all before you head out?
Perhaps. I mean, it's of course it's with the payment now. It's something we can definitely handle ourselves. But if there's any food and water you'd be willing to donate to feed us on the way there, that would be quite nice.
They have water.
We have plenty of it, actually. Yes,
It's quite
I
delicious.
can do both of those.
Amazing.
Where are you staying?
The Riverside Inn.
I will have supplies delivered to the Riverside Inn by tomorrow morning.
Thank you very much.
This is very kind of you. We appreciate it.
Again, the least that we can do. If there isn't anything else, I do have some things that I need to attend to.
Of course.
But thank you for taking the time out of your day to speak with me.
Of course.
Thank you once again
I think
for the
that's it for me.
payments and kindness. We greatly appreciate it.
He stands up and kind of waits for everyone else to stand up. As you all do, he bows. Thank you.
Thank you
And
as well.
he looks past you and you see two guards that kind of walk up and say, right this way. And they kind of take you all out of the Briefheart estate, and you are back walking down the road into River's End. Where are you all going?
Vey is instantly turning to the party and just like, we should accept that land. Absolutely, 110%. I don't
agree.
understand. Yes, Valamine is a very strict country, and the moment you have land here, you are more validated and also more protected under its laws. And we need that, especially if some of us are not from this country.
Could we have maybe someone in town watch over it for us, just so if anyone comes around and tries to claim it, I guess maybe Clara could look in on it every now and then?
Clara, there are the heirdums too.
That's what I was thinking. We could, maybe with some of that money, we could put forth a fund to build a small vineyard there that we could rent out to the Erdums and then collect a small profit and change it into something else once we have enough money from it.
I was gonna say that there is a lot of people that like sleep in the street. We could build a house, they could live there.
That is a great idea, Gak. But I think that with the amount of money we have, we could only help a small number of them. Which, a small number is better than nothing, but if we had more money and more space, we could help even more of them in time. Because I just don't know what we could do with the funds we have for those people.
But we can just, we just build a house. What does that have to do with the...
Well,
I guess
if a house can fit 4 or 5 people with the money
Well,
we
then-
have now, and
We probably shouldn't have burned down that one house, because that was pretty big.
well, if it was between, but then if we didn't, there's a chance that some of the people that were sleeping on the street would have then been infected with whatever that thing was, and then we have a much bigger problem on our hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Vey, you were going to say something?
no. He was about to be the bad guy, and then he was like, "I'll let Rianne be the bad guy here, and I'll just pass that off for the day." But you can see Vey's expression is like, "Absolutely not. That's not. We're not starting a charity in Valentine. That's not happening." He's not saying anything, but from his expression.
If we need more resources, there's lots of trees.
I think maybe what we could focus on doing now is helping all the people that we can along the way, and maybe once we're done with all of our adventuring, we can come back and focus on maybe setting up a home for people who don't have one. That way we can be here in person and oversee everything, make decisions, and we won't have to worry about people taking advantage of our resources while we're away.
We do have a month or two until we really
Mm-hmm.
need to worry about this.
Right.
Of course.
I'm gonna go shopping now, and Gideon starts backing up.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, I would say I know that there was a couple of small things that some of you wanted to accomplish, and so for the sake of time and brevity, I know Gideon has something. Obviously, he's going shopping, but there's also something you wanted to build, right?
Yep.
Didn't you message me and say Rian had
Yeah.
something he wanted to do?
Yeah, I just want to buy studded leather armor.
Okay. Is there anything else that anybody wants to do, like small wise, like buying anything or picking up anything, crafting anything before we kind of skip into the future?
Basil wants to go see if she can get a diamond for her spells.
Okay.
And then
Hold on.
also write a letter back to Myra.
They will also just generally tell the party that it doesn't have to be now, but you need to start getting winter clothes. Like, we're gonna go to the White Crest, you're gonna need a coat and boots. So he's gonna, like, put that out there. Also, like, pittance, climbing gear, you know, so, like, you don't fall down the side of a cliff. That's also great, too. But, like, he's not gonna, like, tell you what to do, you know?
I will.
Like, have a montage shopping thing. Just
To go off of what you said, Knight, they would know that Riffolk, the town, like quite literally right underneath the White Crest, probably is the best place to do that.
Yeah,
Because
no.
it is more colder weather up there.
Yeah, no, he's just saying keep it in your mind.
Yeah.
Also, the party goes strange places, and he's like, well, if we don't go through that town, it's gonna suck, so we have to go through that town.
Yeah. Okay, so quickly, Rian, you are shopping. You're trying to pick up studded leather armor, which you can find at the blacksmith. It will cost 45 gold pieces.
Got
it. Basil, you are trying to pick up what is the material cost on Revivify? Because you want to pick up a diamond for that, right? I think it's 500 gold, but I'm not 100% sure.
It is 300.
300. Okay. So there is a jeweler. You can find the jeweler. You could pick up, if you wanted to, 2 diamonds. They have enough for 2 diamonds worth 300 gold pieces, which are like this big.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So if you want, it will be 600 for that.
Okay.
And then you would be able to write a letter and put it at the postmaster for Moira. And then to Gideon. Gideon, what are you doing?
All right, so he's gonna buy 2 things, then make something.
Okay.
Potentially buy 2 things. 1, gonna buy half plate.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Okay. It will cost you 750 gold pieces.
Yes.
Okay. Big spenders.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll just say the blacksmith is very happy. Like, there's like a set right there that has been sitting there, and you buy it, and he's ecstatic. So you get half plate. You can mark that off.
Sweet. And then I'm gonna mark off just like my total gold because I don't even know if this other thing is like an option. But he wants to go to the. I'm gonna say it wrong now because all I remember is Gax saying it. The Omnipharmicon.
There it is.
Yay! Okay.
Yep.
He wants to go there and like meet Clara for the first time, and he wants to buy like, I don't know if like Electrum's a thing, but just like magical like material to work with, to perhaps like that he can fit into like some of his own designs, or maybe it'll make some DCs later on down the road more achievable and stuff like that.
It's actually kind of crazy that you say something, because Electrum is not a thing, but there is a crystal that is quite similar, known as Arcanite.
Oh!
Okay.
That comes from East Varia, in a specific mine. And as you go to Clara and you talk to her, she kind of thinks a little bit and says, I have some, not a lot. Actually, let me look. And she pulls out, and you can see just these 2 little crystals. They are expensive. and I know we know each other, and we're friends. Sorry, this is the
Oh,
first
that's
time we're
good. I
actually
didn't realize
speaking.
that. Yeah, cool.
Well,
Nice to meet you, friend.
I mean, we did technically fight things together. Oh, actually, no, you weren't there.
Did we?
Sorry.
Oh.
No, actually, we showed up to actually save you. That's right.
Oh, thanks for that.
Yeah. No problem. You know what? I will allow you to buy these for 200 each.
I can only afford one of them.
Well, one's pretty good still.
Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, I will take one of them.
Okay. She hands it to you. Mark off 200 gold pieces. And I need to look up something in my notes.
And can you add that to my inventory, or what do you want me to do exactly?
Just make a custom item in there that you should be able to, and just I'll send you it looks like it's that, and I will give you information later. Remind me. I'll give you more information later on Arcanite as a whole.
Okay.
But it basically is able to enhance your spellcasting abilities. Actually, I'll say this. You would know this. It's not so much that the crystal themselves, but it is more like a crafting material. If Arcanite is inlaid into something and used to cast the magic through, you could potentially give the item, especially if it's damage, an extra damage dice.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Joe
All
would
right.
really, really hate the mines where this stuff comes from. That's all I'll say about that historically, of
Oh,
what
boy.
lives in those fucking mines.
Oh, I see.
It was just a
man.
Belhanath and some spiders, and
They were phase spiders, and it
they were
sucked.
phase spiders.
I look at Joe's face. I knew it.
Also, the Arcanite looks like that. It's an art. It's like this purple, like pearlescent kind of crystal. So, just again, more lore shit. Arcanite is used for arcane, like focus for damage. It enhances spells damage. There's another called Kyberite, which is a green crystal, which is used to make like shields and armor, and it enhances armor. So there's two different crystals that enhance spell damage and like armor and shit, magical armor and stuff.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. Do we want to switch to someone else, or do you want me to just try and make the thing real quick?
Well, since we're on the thing, yeah, we'll go ahead and make a look at sheet. Let me look at your sheet. I would like you to make interesting. Make just a general dexterity check, adding your proficiency bonus because of your smith tools.
Okay.
Dexterity because it's you're working with your hands and trying to make this thing. This is kind of a complicated contraption.
Yep. 22.
22. Okay. You guys don't see Gideon for about 5 hours.
I hear a lot of weird noises coming from his room, though. A lot of banging.
Yeah. A lot of the time, you guys have to kind of check on his room and like knock on the door, just because there's that past trauma of the last time this happened. Gideon was gone, and
Why?
Gideon,
Get out of my room, Mom!
You emerge from your room, the sweat on your brow, and there's like just dust and soot everywhere from like the kick up of the metal and like trying all this contraptions, and you have this bracer in your hand that has these sheets of metal that overlay on top, and it's very, very thin. It lays up very, very nicely with the bracer. The sheets are actually kind of warped around, to kind of lay on the arm. And you have created Gideon's expanding shield.
Trademarked.
TM.
Yeah, it has a G right in the center.
Yeah, you want to talk about passive income? Gideon's gonna make shit and then license it to other people. Become the Lord of War like Nicolas Cage.
And we'll say this is late in the night, Gideon, as everyone's kind of wrapping up and getting ready for bed.
Oh, Gideon's just banging on Rian's door, just like not stopping knocking until he answers.
I like to imagine Rian just sat down and he was like, "So Yersa, I had something up. Boom, 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 boom. Table that." And he gets up and he'll open the door. Yes. Oh, hello, Gideon.
Hey, and he just holds up his arm where the bracer's attached. It's done.
Oh, this is it.
Yes. Do you want to see how it works?
I would love to. Please, show me.
Okay. So, do you see this mechanism right here? And he kind of points just like a spot on his arm.
Yes.
So
I
you
think
see
so.
there's a little indent there. That's what's
Uh-huh.
holding the whole thing together. When you want to activate it, you click down and that will release the plates.
Oh.
At that point, you very quickly twist your arm. The weight of the metal will kind of carry it through, and it'll connect back here once it hits. So, all right. So, like attack me right now. Just like go for it. Just throw a punch. You're not gonna hurt me. I promise.
Okay. And Rian will go for just like a haymaker.
Make it an arm
just,
strike.
Oh.
Even just to
We gotta-
demonstrate it, like.
Yeah, we gotta test out the functionality of this item.
Rian
All
might
right.
not hit with an unarmed strike because he's not very
Yeah.
strong.
The whole point is for you to miss, right?
12.
Yeah, so Gideon will, like, you can see that, like, Gideon is probably agile enough that he probably just could have dodged, but in this case, he just stands still, and he basically kind of quickly, like, moves over, hits the button, and basically the shield retracts a lot, like, it expands a lot quicker than probably Rian's expecting it to.
Oh.
And your hand, like, you don't just, like, punch it head on, he kind of, like, uses it to, like, kind of just, like, push your hand aside to deflect
Yeah.
it more. And as you're kind of, like, pushed off balance, make an athletics check.
Oh.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Athletics. +4.
I got a 17.
That is a 4 + 4, 8.
Alright, so basically, like, right when you kind of come back to, like, you know, stabilizing yourself, that Gideon just, like, has a knife pointed right at you with his other hand.
Okay.
Catches people off guard.
Yeah. No, that's very cool.
And then you see that the same button that, like, also released it's kind of what connected it back, so he presses it down, flicks his arm again, and it locks back up to the way it was.
Wow. That is really, really, really impressive, Gideon. Honestly.
Oh, thank you. Alright, and he'll take it off and hand it to you.
Kind of fasten it on and kind of test it out, and he'll expand it and retract it. That is just cool. That's awesome.
It'll take some time to get used to, so
Yes, it's
keep
got
practicing with
quite a
it.
bit of weight. No, this is fantastic. Thank you so much.
It's still not perfect. Obviously, to make it a decent shield, there had to be some heft to it, so
Yeah.
someone looking might notice that there's something up with your bracer, so
Of course.
just keep that in mind.
Well, also, one thing I think it will do, unintentionally so, is I think it'll help add some momentum to the follow-through of some of the strikes. So, and more than just one way is this helpful. Thank you.
Indeed, that was the goal. Anyways, hi, Ursa.
Hi. It
Oh,
looks
sorry.
wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, were you two in the middle of something? You were in the middle of something, weren't you? Oh,
At the beginning of
Sorry.
something, but it wasn't not a problem.
all right,
This is well worth the interruption.
excellent. I'm gonna go now.
The
Keep
energy.
practicing with that.
Okay.
If I can just, if you would allow me, I'll read the item to the party so they can see.
You
know.
may.
Sure. Yes, please.
So while wearing the shield, while wearing Gideon's collapsing shield, or expanding shield, what did I call it? Shield of expanding. Gideon's shield of expanding. While wearing this, you can use your free object interaction to collapse the shield or expand it. While the shield is collapsed, you gain no increase to AC, but when it is expanded, you gain a +2 to your AC, just like a shield would. However, when a creature would hit you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to instead parry the attack. Expanding the shield, your AC is increased by +2. If the increase to your AC would force the attack to miss, you attempt to parry the attack. You and the creature must roll a contested athletics check. If the creature fails, you have advantage on your next attack against the creature.
Spicy.
So it is effectively a reaction, kind of parry them and then be able to follow up with what could be a potential deadly strike.
Nick, there's a
What
spider.
the hell just happened?
Nick, there's a spider. There's a spider.
Okay, I'll come get it.
Please get it. Please get it.
I felt that.
All right, I'm gonna go
Taking
now.
so long.
You're taking a long time. Nick.
Nick, you better go.
God, Rachel's eyes right now.
Yeah, she
I know.
don't break eye contact. Don't break eye
I
contact.
can't. I'm trying to not make eye contact. It did like.
Remember,
this
they're
and-
more scared of you than you are of them.
That is not
I would like to
true.
point out, I was running an IRL session of D&D in my house, and my friend goes, "There's a spider behind you," and I thought he was joking. He was like, "Yo, there's a spider behind you." And there was a spider. Oh,
I'm sobbing.
Did you get it? Did you get it?
mission accomplished.
Oh my god.
Target
Ladies
acquired.
and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Nick. Is it in there? Did it fall?
I got it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It was in the napkin.
Do you want to ask me another time? Got it.
God damn.
Jesus Christ. Not only was the spider murdered, but so was Rachel. I just witnessed 2
I did
murders.
say yes like 3 times.
I just want to be sure. No, it's so scared.
The next
Nick,
I would
did you
like
get
to
the spider?
say- I would like to say that there has been a spider in my room this whole game, and every time I cover up my screen, I'm trying to kill a spider, and I never get it.
Rachel's like, wait, there's
Nick.
another spider in the house?
You have to get it before we go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm
Going back
trying.
to Reed and
sorry.
walking
I'm
back
sorry.
into the room with Yursa.
Oh, I'm okay. There was something that I wanted to talk to you about. If you'd be willing
Alright.
to spare the time.
She holds up her daisy chain necklace. I think I have plenty of time.
Oh.
Where'd you get all those daisies from?
Well, you know,
Okay.
she just drew and crafts 5 more.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I wanted to ask a couple of questions. For one, I just wanted to see how you were feeling, not just with the curse, but with everything that's been going on. I feel like it's been a couple days since I had a check-in, so I just wanted to see how you were doing.
Well, I do appreciate that. Truthfully, I think I'm doing much better. I hate to admit, but I was maybe very is the wrong word. I was a little afraid. It's been a while since I've been sick with something that I couldn't figure out or simply make go away. I was more worried about being a burden on everyone else than it. So I'm happy that we were able to get it resolved, so you all wouldn't have to worry.
I don't think that anybody would have considered you a burden if it wouldn't have been cured in that moment.
Well, there are more important things to be concerned with now.
I think
Issues.
that the health and well-being of our party members is of the utmost importance, especially yours.
She doesn't really know what to say to that.
But I'm glad that you're feeling better. And
Yes, thank you.
I'm glad
And
that you're
thank you
doing
for
better.
helping reaching out to Temple, and I feel great.
Well, and he kind of laughs. Basil and I, We didn't do much, honestly. We went there, and they told us to come back in the morning. So, really,
Oh, well, you got the ball rolling, and that is what is important.
I suppose you're right. Well, that's good. I'm glad to know that you're doing better. The second thing I wanted to ask you about is it's a bit more personal. So just bear with me.
All right.
When we were in Lunaria, on the day-to-day of you doing your duties as Rift Warden, there were things that I would assist you with. Helping coerce those creatures back through the portal, fight the ones that didn't want to go back willingly, things like that. I was always intrigued by the magic and things you had at your disposal and the work that you did to keep Lunaria and, by that extent, the region safe. With the way things are looking to shape out, these rifts weakening, the material between planes of existence thinning, part of me thinks it might not be a bad idea for me to learn things like that. I've always admired your ability to communicate with animals and track them. The connection with nature you have, and I was just wondering if it might be helpful if teaching me how to work with those rifts and with that magic, if that's something you'd be willing to do, I'd be happy to learn it.
You can see by the time you're done talking, she just kind of like, she has a smile on her face, but she narrows her eyes a little bit. Oh, so now you wish to have a conversation with me, even though a few days ago you're going out of your way to avoid me at all costs. Am I wrong?
No, you are not wrong. That is exactly correct.
I see. Well, since now suddenly you are very curious, I suppose I can teach you a few things, if you're willing to actually learn.
Well,
But
I think that I learned a lot from you in Lunaria. I'm always willing to learn. I think I'm a great student.
I wouldn't go that. However, and she says again, she's saying this with a smile on her face.
Yeah.
I think a good starting place is just making sure you're being willing and open to everything that's around you. One of the things that helped me better connect with not just necessarily nature at large, but Melora and the magic that is seeping around us at all times is just being very conscious of all life around us. I know it may sound strange, but I feel as though trees, the plants, even the smallest of animals, insects, they all have life and value and feeling. And I think it's important for us to recognize that and do what we can to protect it, which we have been. But when you go out and when you meditate, do your morning routines, maybe take a second or two to... Do you know what it really feels like to have the grass beneath? What it really feels like to tune into the songs of the birds around you? And when you can let yourself fully embrace that, then I think I can teach you a thing or two about rifts and what comes out of them and how to put them back home, I suppose. But if you can't understand and appreciate our own plane first, I think that's where the work starts.
You can definitely tell that he's like 110% paying attention and just hanging on to every word. And he says, most of the time, I think when I go to meditate, I try and tune all that out. I try and focus on cleansing everything so I can focus on only my thoughts. I never thought to tune out my thoughts and listen to the world around me.
Well, sometimes our thoughts can be a little much. Instead of conversing with yourself, it often feels like one half of you is screaming at the other. And sometimes it's good to just step outside of ourselves and find peace, not just inside our own heads. However, all that to be said, I think this is something you are very capable of doing. And I will admit, this whole talk of the rifts and this danger that is upon us, I am worried. I am very concerned because this is what I'm supposed to know, and all my life I've been preparing to protect and serve the only gate I knew. I've been aware of others, but this is different entirely, and now I feel as though it is my responsibility to do what I can. And I'm not quite sure what that is yet. I don't think we have enough information. Not yet, at least.
I think at this point he probably would have sat down next to you and just kind of been looking at you while you were saying that, and he would say, "You're definitely right. We don't know enough. And that is scary, but I don't know your side. I feel a new lease on life. I feel like..." And he looks at you and he says, "I feel like together, all of us, tacking that on, all of us, feel like this is something we can do. I know it might sound naive, but I really feel like we can make a difference for the better. We can save these people and stop whatever this is." He'll kind of take his hand and put it on top of yours and squeeze and say, "Whatever it is, we can handle it."
Yeah, and she would smile at that. I think you're right. And I appreciate it. One step at a time. I don't consider myself a fighter per se, as you do, or they, but nor do I think I am as intelligent as Gideon, Basil, and Gak is way more powerful than I think he realizes. So I just hope that I can carry my load as well, and pull my weight, so to speak.
I have no doubt about that, Yrsa. When it comes to rifts and gates, even though you've only ever seen the one, you are the person who's most knowledgeable about it.
Well,
Don't,
I appreciate it.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You're talented. You're good. You belong here.
Right, well, maybe don't ignore me for an entire day next time. And she'll, like, put the daisy chain around his neck. Beautiful.
So jeez. He'll look at you and say, "Yes. Yes, it is." Kind of look at the daisy chain.
Alright, off. To, like, nudge you off of her hammock thing.
All right.
We've a long day, lots of traveling. who knows what's ahead of us. So
Oh, yes, we do, and I think in about 5 minutes, Faye's really going to regret that they skipped on their training this morning. Nothing better than a night run, you know.
Yursa opens her mouth to say something, but then does not.
Oh. Well, good night, Yursa, and we have a lot of good days ahead.
Good night.
Like that. He'll head out the room, head to Vay's room.
Make a perception check, Rian.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Where's my D20? I'm nervous.
Yursa snipes you in the back of the head.
Okay, that is a 16 plus 6, 22. Right? Yeah, 22.
Okay. As you're approaching Vay's door, you can hear. Wait, it probably didn't come through the mic, but you can hear.
I heard the first.
You can hear what sounds like hooves on wood in a pattern, and with your 21, was it?
21 or 22. 22.
22. You can easily ascertain that the person on the other side of this door is pacing back and forth.
On Vay's door?
Mhm.
Okay. He won't knock as aggressively as he was. He'll give it a light knock and say, Vay, are you in there?
Yeah. The door would open and Vay would kind of lean onto the side. Yes, Rian.
And what's Vay's demeanor right now? What does he look like right now?
Like if you've seen a man close to jumping out a window, similar to that, like that level of done with stuff. But like
You look past
he's-
Vay, the window's open.
No, window's open.
Just kidding.
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
Ledge, my friend. Oh God. He's just. Did you need something?
I'm just a little restless, is all. I was wondering if you'd be willing to go on a walk with me. It's never good practice to walk alone, especially in a city that had vampires just a couple nights ago. Yursa's head off to bed, so I was going to see if you'd be willing to accompany me.
Vay narrows his eyes just a little bit, but he'll incline his head and he'll go grab his stuff. I feel like he knows this is revenge, but I don't think he'll say it.
So, I think as the two of you start to walk outside the Riverside Inn for a night's walk together, I think we're going to come back to this moment. Don't worry, we'll get back to this moment. But we do need to take a break. It's been a while. So we're going to take our break now, and we will come back to Rian and Vay walking outside of the tavern and see where we go from there.
Yeah, okay.
Ice cream.
Yeah. Oh, I have ice cream too in the freezer. Woo! Okay, all right. Thank you for watching, everybody. B.I.B. We're back.
Are we?
We are.
Awesome. So, as Vey and Rian walk out of the tavern for their
Vey
midnight
and
walk,
Rian.
Vey, as you walk out, you hear the swooshing of air above you, and you look up, and there's a giant boulder that hits Rian out of nowhere.
Oh,
And
wait.
then a dragon flies off, and you hear the dragon say, "Get fucked."
Wait. Does the boulder have cracks in it?
Oh God!
Were the cracks
No.
maybe caused by a voice?
Anyway, yes. They are walking outside of the
Yeah.
inn. Oh my God.
It is much cooler than it was during the day.
That's good.
Obviously, you can see all the lanterns around with that magical orb inside that are lighting up the streets of Willbrook. You can hear the rushing of the river off into the distance. And there's luckily no vampire walking over said river towards the party. So you all have a very tranquil night.
And I will say, Vey, just because it goes so much against his aesthetic, you do notice the daisy chain necklace that he didn't take off.
Yeah, Vay will like kind of look at it and then like look away and then like look back at it and be like, so he definitely, you can see he's looking at it.
Yeah. Rand's not gonna say anything. He's going to as you're walking, he's just gonna say, I always hate asking this question because I feel like there's never a good way to answer it.
Have you ever tried not asking it?
I have, but then I don't know. I feel like it's better to ask and get a, as opposed to not ask, and who knows what they may have said. So
You're going to ask me if I'm okay, right?
No.
No?
Kind of. I'm going to ask you how you're feeling.
I don't understand how the two are different. I'm fine. No. I'm a little worried.
Yes, I was just about to say, please don't lie to me. I heard you pacing through the door.
Right.
Right.
So, we are going to go visit my home, and that is not necessarily a bad thing. However, we've kind of left a path of destruction in our wake, and my home is in a very precarious situation right now. And I don't know how to nicely phrase to everyone that if you fuck up my home, I will kill you myself and hunt you to the ends of the earth, without making it sound like I'll kill you myself and hunt you to the ends of the earth, you know? But I want them to know that that's what it is. Any suggestions?
Well, understandably, you seem to have a lot of pride in your home, and I admire that about you. So of course, it's there's nothing wrong with wanting it to stay together, to not be subject to the same destruction that the Blackmore estate was. I understand that entirely. And have you ever thought about maybe just explaining how much your home means to everyone? And ask them politely to mind their manners and make sure that if caution could be exercised, it is?
I told Yursa to tell them to act normal.
All right. There's a saying that my mother used to tell me. What's normal for the spider is a calamity for the fly. So, someone who has different life experiences than you, choosing to act normal, will act one way. That doesn't exactly fit in with what you think is normal. So maybe it could be a good idea to give more detail?
I said I would. I didn't say I wouldn't. I would. Yes, I will. You're right.
And Vey, there's nothing wrong with showing that you're passionate about your home. Of course you want to keep it safe. I've never seen the White Crest Mountains, and I've never seen the cities your people live in, but I'm sure it's magnificent. And I'm sure that... Oh, no?
So, that's the problem. I don't... What people see as the White Crest Mountains, I don't live there, and the place that we need to go to is not something that people know about. I'm saying... And I'm saying this because I trust you, and as I said before, if you tell anyone this, I will hunt you down and kill you. And I mean that quite literally. I will have to. Valamine can't know about where I am and where I come from. That can't happen. It is very much not a place that people can get to normally. And there's a reason I'm here and other people from where I am are not. So when I say it is of the utmost importance that no one does something wrong, I mean after the fact as well. So if someone comes back and decides to talk at all, then the person who's going to have to hunt them down, as I've been saying multiple times, is me. I don't want to have to do that.
I just want you to understand, Vey, that at least from me and Yersa, the two of us understand that more than you could imagine. Especially Yersa. It's not my story to tell, but she knows the wrath of the Valamine Empire, what they're capable of. I can guarantee that both of us will respect those wishes, and if you share it with the party the same passionate way you told me, Grant, I would leave out the hunt you down and kill you. I think that's a wise idea, but if you tell them what you told me, I think they'll understand. I know sometimes certain people throughout my life, sometimes people have a hard time expressing how they feel and expressing their emotions in a way that's clear for other people to interpret, but I can guarantee you, Faye, myself, Yersa, Gideon, Gak, and Basil, we all care deeply about you. And if we're going to your home, we're going to do everything we can to make sure your home stays safe.
I appreciate that. I do. I think I've always operated under I owe people decency, not honesty. So I don't really know how to interact with these people, and I'm going to be quite honest when I said before that I'm not afforded the luxury of being an asshole right now. Back home I am, and innately I'm a little bit of a bastard. And trying to talk with
Really?
nice people is hard. The charity thing today, I thought I was going to jump off a bridge. And
Yes.
and I'm not sure there's a way of so I just hold my tongue because otherwise I'd be like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and then Basil would have to kill me because I made Gak cry.
I think you might be overthinking things a bit. Just a little bit. Gak.
Me?
I know. It's strange, really. Gak just wants to help people. So he sees people sleeping on the street. Well, people aren't supposed to sleep on the street. They're supposed to sleep in buildings. That's what's normal for him. But he didn't grow up here. He didn't see the cruelty and the manipulation and the devastation that the Valamine Empire can cause. It's hard to take into account other people's experiences and their lives. But it's one of the hardest things. But as soon as you can start to do that, reacting with politeness becomes easier. And it's not something you'll master in one night. No, believe me, I got into many drunken brawls with people all over Siri. because I couldn't see things from their perspective. You're young. We all make mistakes. We all don't act the way we want to sometimes. All you can try to do is be better on any given day. Today you wanted to jump off a bridge because of what Gak said. Maybe tomorrow you'll just want to dunk your head in cold water. You know, small battles.
You give advice like you have one foot in the grave. Has anyone ever told you that?
Oh. Well, we fought together, yes? You see how often I'm knocked unconscious, so 1 foot in the grave I don't think is far off. It's
Like,
my
what-
left foot, Basil's right foot.
Yes, respectfully asking both of you to stop doing that. It's stressful. I don't like it. Maybe we should talk about that too, just as a group.
It's funny you say that. Very briefly, while we were meandering about the other day, I was thinking about putting into practice some of the things that I've learned when it comes to speaking with the whole group. I think that things could go a lot easier for us if we applied a modicum of tactics. I was just waiting for us to get on the road. There's enough going on here. So I agree with you. But as important as that is to talk about, I just want to hit this home one more time, Vay. We haven't known each other long. That is true. None of us have. But in situations like these, where day in and day out, not only is your relationship tested, but your life is put on the line. Relationships under pressure, they develop faster, stronger. It might be hard to hear, and believe me, it is very hard for me to say. But among all of us, I feel comfortable saying that you are loved and very cared for. And when it comes to your home and the things you care about, I'm confident all of us are willing to do whatever we can to make you happy. All right?
Yes, no, I'm deeply uncomfortable, but I understand completely. No, I appreciate it. I truly do. Don't say that word ever again. I just feel like I just lost 4 years off my life.
All right.
Please.
All right. I won't. But I have a feeling you're about to feel like you might lose a few more. And Rian's gonna hug him.
No.
Ooh.
It's the coldest, stiffest hug you've ever received, but he'd hug him back.
Yeah, Rian will do that, like, clap on the back. There you go.
Yeah, like, Vay has to kind of, like, lean down a little bit, too. It's just like...
There's some drunk guy walking down the street, just looks over.
Why are there so many drunk people in this city? There
Welcome
needs to
to
be
the
like a
vineyard
social
town.
program about this.
There's
That's
nothing
what-
but alcohol here,
That's
guys.
what we really need to open as like an AA. So kind of pull back.
I liked it better when you were screaming at me that I wanted Gideon to die. I just want you to know, on the scale of things that have happened to me, that was better.
All right. Fine. We can do that. So you really think that you were going to get away without not doing your training? No. Across this bridge, back and forth, 15 times. Do you understand me?
The guy clapping.
You stay out of this. Go. And he, like, back to Vay.
Yeah. Vay's like, that's my opportunity. As he starts running.
Okay. So you both run around the town of
Oh,
Woolbrook.
no, Rian's
No,
not.
Rian, it's
Rian's watching him do like back and forth laps across the
Okay.
bridge.
You do laps across the bridge, and eventually make your way back to the Riverside Inn. Is there anything anyone else would like to do before the night is over?
Yes.
Gak wants to try to meditate with his book.
Gak, as you are sitting there meditating with your book, what are you thinking? What is Gak in this moment as he has the book out with the pages opened, as he's looking at this book that he now knows is a artifact, a great source of power? What is Gak currently thinking about?
For the first few minutes, he's probably not able to focus on anything. He's thinking of too many options, of like worrying about what to think. But then he just kind of sits there until his mind calms down, and he is just trying to think hello and think about if there's someone there who can respond.
Okay. Gak, I would like you to roll me.
I'm gonna roll you.
Roll me an insight check.
17.
Okay. Sitting there with this book, you keep thinking this thought of hello, trying to communicate back with what this book communicated to you not but hours ago. And you watch, like a gust of wind, the pages of the book open, and you see words start to appear that you can read. They say again, hello, Gak. How do you respond?
Gak's probably gonna mutter out loud a little bit, but he's gonna try to think in his head, and he's gonna say,
Hello. I'm sorry I can't write back.
Words appear. Sorry. The words disappear. And then new words reappear.
Oh.
That's okay. I can understand you.
Gak's just kind of sitting there thinking.
Cool. There's a lot of questions to ask, and I don't know which one to ask. Would you like to tell me an answer?
The words disappear once again. And new words appear. Ask a question, and I will try to answer. The words disappear.
Give me a moment, book.
And Gak's gonna just say,
As you say that, Gak, words appear. And they spell out, my name is Izirin. Well, that's not how you spell it.
Nice to meet you, Izirin. why did I find the book?
The words appear. I don't know.
Hmm. Are you trying to help me?
Yes.
Are you helping me because you want to or because you have to?
Want.
Oh, that's good. Can you hear Chip as well?
No.
Oh. Um. If I need to talk to you, do I just think about it?
More or less.
Hmm. Book, I'm really trying to think of some questions.
The text appears. Think more and try to talk to me some other time. The text disappears again and it reappears. I'm always here.
Okay. Thank you, Evrand.
And as you say that, the pages and the book closes in your hands.
Hmm. I'm gonna have to ask the gang what questions I should ask it because I don't even know what to know about it. Do you have any questions, Chip? That's a good one. I like that one. I'll do that one next time. No problem, buddy. I think it's time for bed.
Chip jumps off onto the bed and starts to climb up like the headboard, and then like rests on the headboard where the little where one of the large pieces of wood is on the side.
You comfortable there?
You look over and Chip is asleep.
Oh, that's fast.
Well, pretending to be asleep. You think he's asleep, but he's a fey creature and a familiar. Technically doesn't need to sleep. So he's just whatever a frog looks like when they're sleeping.
We all know. We all know.
Yeah. And with that, you all, I don't know if anyone's taken damage. You can hit the long rest button. And you all wake up the next morning. It is no longer the month of flame rule.
Oh.
It is now the first. Oh boy, that's a name. Hold up. Eliasias?
Who's ass?
I don't know, Ellie's or something.
In this episode, John discovers his own calendar.
Nope, this is the calendar Harptos. I didn't make my own calendar. That was too much work. The month known as High Sun. That's what it's known as.
Yeah.
High
Yeah.
sun. Excellent.
Yeah.
So like the middle of
Now-
summer?
We're in we're in the hottest portion of summer now.
Is it safe to assume the spelling is high sun, like high Sun.
Yeah, Highghsun. High sun.
So not
Oh, hi, sun.
Yeah, like the
Not
sun's high in the sky.
howdy,
Cool.
my offspring.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Right.
Howdy.
Yeah.
Okay, got
Ah, my tall offspring.
it.
Hell yeah. If anybody can pronounce this name, attempt it, and we'll go from there.
Elysius.
Okay. Yep. That
Yeah,
sounds
sounds
right.
That definitely sounds
Elysius.
better than
Yeah,
Elias. Eliasius.
Elias.
Because you're
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm
I'm excited.
That's it. It takes place in the winter now.
I'm excited for the month of Aloysius. That's my favorite one.
Aloysius.
So, you all wake up the next morning. What would the Seekers of Insomnia like to do for setting out?
Leave.
Before setting out.
Before setting out, I want to leave. Before anything can happen, I want to go.
Yursa, before everybody gets down, like, I don't know if it's possible, but before Vey gets downstairs, Yursa is gonna wake up early, and she's going to gather everyone at the table. And she's gonna say, "Alright, so I've been given a very special task, and I would just like to ask all of you to, now hear me out. I know this is a lot, and I know that this could be interpreted in many ways, but if we could all just be less weird, I think this is gonna be a great day."
Got it.
She has this big old smile on her face. Oh, Gak, great.
All right, Chip, let's go talk to my book. And Gak just walks away.
Yursa just smiles at everybody else. Good, yes?
Of course.
We have a wonderful spirit amongst us. All right.
Well, what do you want me to say? Gonna
Normal things.
normal things. The weather's hot today.
It is, indeed. Yes, see, people talk about the weather often.
People do talk about the weather often. Today's the first month of Hyson.
First day.
First day of the month of Hyson. I once heard a drunk man last night while they and I were doing an evening walk. He called it Elias. I thought that was kind of funny.
Right? Well, that's normal. I'm excited for our travels. It's going to be wonderful. Yursa will sit down.
One thing I actually a serious wait. Gak, before you go talk to your book. I did. Are you? Did he get up from the table? Or is he still at the
No,
table?
He's at the table.
Okay, all right. There was something that I wanted to speak with everyone about. Before we get out on the road, just because the road that we are going to be traveling on is called the Raised Road. Now, the spelling of that is R-A-Z-E-D, not
This
raised.
is exactly what I was going to bring up to the group, actually.
Elevated.
Because two of you have been through the raised road. So, sorry to cut you off, Joe, but this is a lore thing that Gideon and Vey would both know. The raised road is spelled correctly, although it is very much misinterpreted by a lot of people because there are many hills and the elevation is higher than where you currently are in south. However, raised being the key word, the raised road is a long stone road that leads towards the Whitecrest Mountains from Woebrook, and it is lined with hundreds of ruins. It is once said that people believe that the raised road was once a giant civilization, one entire city, which is why it has such a prominent stone walkway. That stone walkway was once the walkway through the entire city. Now, after things like the Calamity, where the deities fought each other, it is said within the books of old that the Raised Road was one of the focal points of one of said battles, which destroyed everything, leaving these ruins without names throughout the scattering of the hills of the Raised Road. For the two of you, you would also know there's one key point about the Raised Road that people abide by. Do not travel into any ruin or suffer death.
Great. Sounds like a wonderful road.
Man.
I assume like Vey has like come down now and like everyone. Yeah. Like I assume he's like telling us about this.
I mean, like he just walked down and like saw the weird atmosphere, and he was like, "But like he'll sit." I don't know if he's the one specifically talking about this because I think Rian was about to launch into it, but
Yeah, sorry. So just
That's
for those
okay.
going into this conversation.
I forgot
Oh,
that
yeah.
Rian, that Vey wasn't down there yet. He would have waited to say this thing until
Yeah.
Vey got down.
Yeah.
Good morning, Vey.
Good morning on this beautiful, nice, normal day.
wow. All right. Good morning. He sits.
So, as I was saying, I think there's something we need to talk about before we go, especially now knowing what Vey and Gideon just informed us about the Raised Road. I knew that there would be something. I didn't realize it was that intense, but all the more reason I believe we should talk about this. I think that it is very likely that we will be attacked on our journey to Riffolk and then to the Whitecrest Mountains. And I think if that's going to happen, I think that we need to have a more clear idea of stations in battle. In any army or regiment or unit, there are clear divides between what jobs people have in order to make sure that the collective can survive. The individual needs to be strong. And stay out of this, Ryan.
Straight up stole that.
It's a good sentiment. Oh, like House Nassim is the only people that have ever thought that.
I mean, the whole quote, though. The whole quote.
It's a good way to phrase it. What do you want, Ryan?
It was good when I came up with it.
Then you should be
You can use it,
flattered
Joe.
that I said it.
You
Plagiarism.
have my permission to use it.
Trademarked.
Yeah.
Like sealed.
God, I'll Venmo you $5. Jesus. For the rights to use it.
Plus
All right.
tax.
Oh, my God. Jesus. Okay, so I think that what might be a good idea is to have a clear divide, so to speak, in terms of what we should be doing and where we should be. Obviously, it won't work every time. Ambushes happen, we get split up. It's very likely. But I think that if we have a clearer plan overall for whenever we go into a fight, we're more likely to make our way through it without so many unnecessary near-death experiences. So, I've been thinking about this a lot, taking into consideration my training and experiences, and I think that what would be best is, for the most part, sticking to this sort of line of fire, so to speak. In the front should almost exclusively be myself and Vey. We are the hardiest of the group, and the hardest to hit in different ways. We can take the brunt of most things and live from it. Also, most of our attacks are done through melee.
Are
Then
you sure about that, Rian?
I'm pretty confident on this, actually.
Okay.
I'll toss my weight behind Rian on this. I agree. Absolutely. Please stop running in front of me.
No, I
Everyone
agree
else,
that-
please.
I agree that Vey doesn't get knocked down much.
Well, here's my second point, is behind Vey and I should be Basil and Yersa. Basil, I appreciate your tenacity, but I feel as though it is a lot worse if you get knocked down than if I get knocked down. So keeping you away from that front will make sure that that happens less often. Because if I get knocked down, you can get me back up. If you get knocked down, I cannot do that. So that still allows you and Yersa to participate in that front line from time to time if anything should come up. But it ensures that the two people that are capable of healing in larger portions stay safe for the most part. Vay's healing, while impressive, is very situational, and it takes a lot of Vay's time in order to use it.
He has normal healing spells too that he's used.
I know, but your
Vay,
meta-wise,
shoots a look, like Vay shoots a look at Rian like,
your spell slots are better used with Divine Smite or something.
yes.
That's the point he's making. And Rian wouldn't die as much if people cast more healing spells. That's the point of
I
trying.
agree. I'm with you. Yeah, no. Vay like sends like Rian a look, but then he's like, no, the sentiment, I agree. Stop making me heal people. I don't want to. I don't like it. And everyone else, it also sucks. It sucks for them too because it feels cold and uncomfortable. So,
And then
I can also heal people.
yes, exactly. So if we have two people in that mid-range spot, Basil and Yersa, one of you can do something more offensive, and if somebody needs healing, the other can do some healing, and you can trade back and forth. So that way, not one person is the healer. Then behind Basil and Yersa would be Gideon. Gideon being mid-range with the cannon, and then Gak would be behind Gideon. Because, Gak, I want you to stay as safe as you can, and I'm afraid that if you keep getting in the thick of it, well, I understand that I go unconscious a lot, but I also get hit a lot. A lot.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of hits to knock me down, whereas it does not take a lot of hits to knock you down. So my hope is that with you in the very back, you are very, very good at obliterating things with the magic you possess. So by keeping you in the back, we keep that that valuable asset safe. And I think that if we try and stick to that as much as we can, we'll be less likely to run in as many unnecessary unconscious scenarios. And if I'm wrong, I'd be more than happy to admit it. If the first time we get into something, if this blows up on our face, we can go back to the way we were doing things. I just feel like a little bit of strategy could help us in the long run.
I understand.
I hate to agree with Rian, but I agree with Rian.
You hate to... Thank you.
I will admit I am least knowledgeable when it comes to stuff like this. But if this is what we think is best, and I agree, maybe going forward when we encounter these things, having a plan of action is better than having no plan at all. So I will also agree.
And I do hate to be pushy about it. That's not what I'm intending at all. I just want all of us to stay safe and get through any given combat encounter. And I've had several people recently tell me that if I go unconscious as much as I have been, then it won't just be the enemies I have to worry about. And I'd like to only have to worry about the enemies.
I will be pushy about it, though. So if Rian won't, I will. So just be aware of that. If I have to grab people in the middle of a fight, I will. And not that I think it will be a problem for some of you, but some of you maybe, and just be aware of that. With love, apparently.
With peace and love.
With love, apparently.
Apparently.
Sure.
All right, well, if everybody seems to be on board with that, we can see how it works out.
Gak, Gideon,
You think
That's
it'll
fine.
work?
I hope so. All right.
DM casts Fireball on the back line.
We laugh awkwardly because we know it's possible.
yeah. We're like, yeah.
Oh, so funny.
Power word kill.
Shit.
Well, that there's no remedy for. No amount of tactics solves a power.
Fucking die. I mean, like, we have a cleric death ward is a thing, but like,
That's true. That's true.
otherwise, you know, and you can, yeah. I abused death ward as a cleric. It was very good. Yeah, no. Vay will kind of look around. He's like, I'm kind of sensing that this is like a resounding, like this is an experiment kind of thing. But as someone who has been beat to shit my entire life to gain the experience that I have, and it is not as long as Rian's life, not by anyway. But my point being is Rian is right. Please stop running into the middle of combat when you cast spells. It's just better not to do that. Especially if you're a resource. I love fighting with all of you, but it has probably been the most stressful thing that I've ever had to deal with in my entire life. But I love it. Apparently.
16 orcs walk into the bar. Roll initiative.
Formation, get in formation. Go, go, go.
Test rounds.
He walks into the bar. What do you do?
Cry.
Kyrion's alive again.
Oh my god.
What do you do?
You thought you could get rid
Eldar
of
walks
me?
in.
Eldar, that bitch. Dagger.
We don't even have to get into fighting formation. Just start slinging words at him.
Ah, my mind and my face. Ah.
My pride.
I will
With-
say,
Okay.
sorry. Darius was just gonna say every situation is going to be different,
Mhm.
and I don't think every time something like this comes about, it'll be perfect.
No, one of the
But-
most important things is adaptability.
Yosa, I'm not worried about you. You can turn into a bear. This is not directed at you at all, in fact. Not that it's directed at anyone in particular. I'm just saying that I think you're fine.
Less bear, or more. I enjoy being a bear.
It's about adaptability.
I'm
Like
gonna
I
eat
said.
my breakfast now.
All right.
You guys like fighting?
I wouldn't say that at all. I enjoy
Yes.
being a bear. Or that.
I think the best plan is to just avoid it.
Well, yes, that is the unspoken rule, I believe, but sometimes in this line of work, it's inevitable.
Also, certain we royalty are not very diplomatic. Just pointing that out. Like, we've kind of made people very angry at us before. So, you know, if we don't want to fight people, we have to be nicer to people.
Kind of sounds like an attitude problem for them.
Well, I mean, I agree, Gak. I think the best way to approach any situation is peacefully. If things can be talked out in a diplomatic manner, then I will always choose the path of peace first. And I think it's safe to say anyone here would. And as long as we approach things with a positive attitude, hopefully others will too.
While we get better at protecting each other while fighting, we should also try and get better at speaking.
I agree.
I agree as well. All right. Amazing. Well, then I suppose if no one has anything else, then we can finish our breakfast and load up and head out. Unless there was anything else.
Not for me.
The music stopped very suddenly. Apparently, there's nothing else.
I've been waiting for this moment.
I'll probably stop by Clara's just to let her know we're heading out. If there's anyone else we should talk to, do we want to go talk to Adele and her family? Let them all know we're leaving.
I think it'd be nice to stop by and say farewell.
Why not?
Okay. Why is this one so somber?
We're about to graduate.
So quickly, as you all head over to the Erdem estate, is there anything specific you wanted to tell them, or that they will wish you well on your travels, and they enjoyed your company, and obviously Adina gives you all big hugs. As
And
she,
here
wishes you
comes
well.
Felicity. Oh, no, okay.
Felicity, come on in.
He goes, "Bye guys," and then logs out.
We should also tell them about the oh well, never mind. We can send a letter. I forgot about it. We hadn't decided exactly what we were going to do with the lamb.
Yeah.
So
Or
You can
sending
send a
or
letter.
yeah, we have plenty of communicative powers.
Okay, so they will wish you well in your travels, and then you head. I would assume you already have your cart at this point. You already have Akari, and I forget what the other horse's name was.
Oh, Akari.
Nero.
Nero.
Hero. Yeah.
Damn, how do I remember that?
The Roman
Um,
emperor.
Sorry. We have a cart. Sorry. Yeah, no, you're right. I was like, we have a cart? We have a cart.
We do
Yeah,
have
it's a
cart.
little rundown. Actually, it's not run down anymore because the Erdems gave you the other cart.
That's right. Aw.
You have a canopied cart now.
Aw. We're like little pioneers in the American West in the olden days.
Dysentery, wow.
Rian has contracted dysentery. Rian dies from tuberculosis.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
I have TB.
Who should keep track of like cart inventory, just so we can decide that right now?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Not it.
Please don't choose me. I will lose it.
You can do it.
You can do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, Jonathan, I'm going to just spend the 10 minutes to summon Kova, so Vey can have his own.
Okay. Well, for the first time then, because I believe this is the first time, right?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said
would
that so
like to
passively.
describe your steed.
Oh, yes, I have a picture of her that I drew myself with my own 2 art hands.
And if it's possible to describe it so that people who watch.
Yes. I'm just also trying to see where I put it in my photos album because I saved a bunch of photos since then. But it looks kind of like I guess the best way to describe it is a fluffy snow leopard with horns. It's blue and it matches the color scheme matches Vey.
It has to.
And I have put it in
must.
art.
Ooh. Oh, the fluff. I love the fluff.
Yes.
What does it look like when Vey casts the spell and how Kova comes into being in front of the entire party?
He he spends the 10 minutes kind of getting it ready before he almost snaps, and it almost sounds like a bell as like kind of snowflakes drift down, and she kind of jumps out of the area that he's summoning her from.
Dude,
But yes.
Nice.
Kova does like a lap around your legs, and then kind of like sits next to you.
Vey instantly is, doing the "it's my baby" thing and instantly cuddling.
As Kova kind of gets up and you get onto the back, riding Kova while Rian is riding Hikari. Who's driving the cart?
Yours
Oh,
can't. Oh, Basil can drive. Sorry. No,
You both can sit up front if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each
Let
one
the
of you hold
girls-
one rein.
Yeah.
And while Gideon and Gak are in the back of the cart, you all stop by the Omnipharmacon and tell Clara your goodbyes. Again, she wishes the party well, looks towards Gak and wishes him very well, and to be safe and to keep the thing that he has on the down low. She wishes everyone safe travels until you all meet again. As
Message
you
me
go,
if you need me.
I will. And as you all make your way down the eastern road of Woolbrook that leads onto the raised road, you see before you, where's my thing?
Ooh.
That thing at the top left is kind of these statues that you see throughout in the distance. You see a long road ahead of you, and you see the mountains in the distance, and you can see from this point as you are making your way out of Woolbrook and you're a couple hours out. I'm going to play this atmospheric music. Hold on, give me a second. Or not.
Spirit music.
It's not atmospheric music. It's there. We go.
Oh, nice.
Oh! This is like the beginning of Skyrim.
Hey,
thought
you.
were rolling a
Good.
You're
You're
awake.
awake.
The instant multiple people.
At that point, our screens fade to black, and you hear a gruff man say,
You you see in front of you this long cobblestoned road covered in greens from the moss that has kind of come up from underneath over time. But this is a well-used road, so it is very visible. As you see the forest that kind of line the eastern and western sides of this road, there is a large mountain range to the eastmost, where most of you would know is known as the Tumanzad Spires. Jeez, is a long mountain range. What's up?
Tumzanamna.
Yeah.
It's
Tumanzad Spires. Maybe should have changed the name at some point. Who knows? It's a long mountain range of these spiraling mountains that they are very almost pencil thin. Not in compared to other mountains. They kind of twist up almost like horns themselves, like these obsidian mountains in the distance. And even further than that, you can see the fog that kind of overlays the Whitecrest Mountains in the far north ahead of you. It is very hard to see. If not, you cannot see any of the peaks of the Whitecrest Mountains, but you know that is what you are currently looking at. The air around you as you make your way into the raised road is foggy. It is almost eerie. You can see multiple people making their way past you and multiple people up ahead of you. But as you start the first couple hours of the raised road, there are ruins after ruins of dilapidated buildings and towers and what looks like temples at some point that look like Mother Nature has taken over.
Pretty.
But as you all are making your first couple hours on the trip, is there anything you guys would like to do?
obviously we're going right into a ruin. Right in
You should.
to
You should,
activate whatever curse is in there and
Actually,
well, I'm joking. I didn't actually do it.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna roll a d6.
No.
Okay. Basil, roll me a d4.
And D4. Okay. Alright.
Okay. So, the first 4 hours of your trip, is there anything you all would like to do?
I was just gonna use Eyes of the Grave to see if I could sense any undead. Unless that's what you were having me roll for, and I rolled bad.
No, that roll is entirely something different.
Okay. But
Yeah.
can I do?
So, are you specifically just doing this on the road itself, or are you kind of looking off into the ruins? Like,
Just because it's within like 60 feet, so like as we're walking, I
okay.
guess. Because like when we get closer to the ruins, just so like if there's like any lingering spirits or any like that I could get a vibe of like, oh, we might be in trouble kind of thing.
Yeah. As you use this, go ahead and make me a religion check. As is always that you do this, but this is now a feature that you have. The religion checks to see how strong of a connection you can get from the surroundings. Okay.
Woo.
Well, with your newfound faith within the Raven Queen here recently, your religion's got a little bit stronger. As you use Eyes of the Grave, and what does it look like when Basil does that?
So when she does her Eyes of the Grave, she kind of I don't want to dissociate isn't the word. So her eyes go gray and it's like she kind of transports a little bit above where normal people alive people are, and she like kind of brings herself out of her body and just like looks around to things that would be considered like invisible to people who don't have that power. So when she like is conversing with a spirit, when she's searching for a spirit, etc., her eyes pretty much like gray over because she's like kind of in a trance, but she's able to do stuff.
Right. I will say Yursa, you were able to pick up on this because Basil's sitting right next to you. Basil, as you do this,
I'll take the reins.
you feel all of these eyes and presence right off of the road near all of these ruins that you are passing. You get very, very, very faint visages of spirits, but there are very faint whispers that also come through. You hear, "Help me, please, come." You can hear all of these dissonant whispers, so to speak. And it looks like all of the spirits that you see around you, which it is quite jarring. This is the first time you're seeing so many. None of them can set foot on the stone.
Of the road.
And just to be clear, the road itself is about 20 feet wide.
Okay. And then, is that it?
That is, yes. For the duration of Eyes of the Grave, there is just spirits. As long as you are passing by a ruin, which they are clustered all over the place, even if it's just like a couple stones here, you can tell that it was probably once a building. There are spirits around.
Jesus, this is rough. So she's still like present in the mortal world. Just think like, I guess 3D or something, so she can see everything. Just add an extra film over it. Do the spirits have like? Do they seem hostile towards us, or just seem like sad?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Ramp. Guess we're sleeping on the road tonight.
It's hard to tell, not only because there are so many spirits, they are also not apparating entirely. You're seeing like almost vague echoes of one, and then it just disappears.
Okay.
It's hard to tell if they're hostile or if they are friendly. From what you've heard from their cries, most of them seem to want help.
Okay. Sounds good.
And you can choose to relay this to the party if you like, or if you were relaying this the whole time.
Yeah, so Basil's just gonna kind of let everyone know what the vibe is, and she's gonna, kind of feeling overwhelmed with how many she's passing. She's just gonna try to like snap out of it, just because it's a lot at once.
Mhm.
Okay. And having just relayed how many spirits she can sense, I think it would be a wise idea to remain in the road tonight while we set up our first camp. I know that sleeping in the road isn't ideal, mostly when other carts could be coming, but these spirits seem to not be able to come onto the road, and I haven't been able to grasp if they're hostile towards us or if they're just tormented souls. I'm not quite sure yet.
Um, Jonathan, can
Mhm.
Vey divine sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's gonna see if he's getting any like he's wondering if the road is hollowed in any way, but he's also wondering if like the undead spirits are lingering or if they're like actually undead, like scattered throughout the ruins, or if there may be like an infernal component to this. That's basically kind of like the thing.
Okay. The first thing you will pick up on is the road itself is hollowed.
Right.
And you would know this just by travels regardless. Both you and Gideon would know that. It would be nearly impossible, if not impossible, from what Basil's seeing and what you're about to pick up on Divine Sense to make trips past this road if it was not hollowed. Divine Sense around you, you feel. Let me look up something. Hold on.
Oh, that's never good.
Yeah, you feel it's odd. It's very odd. There is you pick up on undead. However, normally when you pick up on undead, you can get the feeling of maliciousness and like hunger and just evil, right? You get that in some instances, and you can tell when you can get pings inside of the ruins themselves, like one every so often. The rest of them, even though you get these pings of undead, you feel like it's almost like they're not a part of this plane. Like they're almost like a memory. There's no evil to them. There's no maliciousness. It just seems like they're kind of stuck here, but like in and out.
All right. Yeah, kind of like a broken tape in a way. Like, yeah. So Vey kind of upon hearing that from Basil and kind of seeing what she does, he'll do his divine sense. And he'll relay that kind of information and just be like, I agree with Basil. I don't think we should ever step off the road. Not that that was something we were going to do, just to reiterate.
I agree. Thanks for backing me up, because this is a lot. I've never seen so many souls in one spot. It's kind of stressful. A little bit.
If it eases your mind, there's no infernal presence around. It's just undead, and not all of them seem to be evil or angry. A lot of them just seem to be pieces left behind. But there are a few that seem in a bad mood. As he looks at like a particular ruin where he's getting a ping or something.
Understandable, I guess. Probably just reliving everything that happened every single day. Rough.
Yeah. I'm hoping to fix my bitterness problem before I die so I don't end up like that, because it seems unfortunate.
I agree. For anybody in general, not just.
Over the next couple hours, the sun does start to set in front of you, and you do have to find camp as night does start to fall. It's weird. As you all are settling down and stopping the cart on this road, you can see multiple different parties up ahead. This is a very used road. Unfortunate it may be, it is the only way that people can get northern of Valamine towards Riffolk. However, you see some of the people, one of them closest to you, their camp is off of the road. And you see a fire. And you see that there are two individuals just kind of sitting around the fire conversing.
How far off the road? Like pretty far, or like 10 feet?
30 or 40 feet?
Ooh, oh no. Yeah, they would instantly kind of look at the others like we should tell them.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
they
you-
instantly up and
Go ahead, Nick.
I'll stay with the cart.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess Vey and Rian can ride ahead since they have the separate mounts from the cart. Just for a little bit of distance, you know.
Okay.
Just in case these aren't good people. I mean, they're sweeping into spooky ruins, so they could just be bad people. I guess we'll see.
or idiot.
Or, yeah, they could just be fucking stupid.
Yeah. So they're off and they've lit a fire, right? As we approach, are they are they noticing, or do they seem very much like we're chilling kind of thing?
Oh, they're eating. You can see that they've actually created a spit over top of the fire where they're kind of roasting something. They have like these portable chairs that they've brought. Actually,
So
it's
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Like
the ones that go
and
in the
you
plastic tube?
No, not those ones.
Okay.
Like the square ones that you kind of use it like a football game or something that you put on the bleacher almost. Those kind of folding chairs.
Okay, yeah.
Or like a small little beach chair. Anyways, there's two individuals. One individual looks elven with long blonde hair that's kind of pulled off into the side into this like little braid. It's hard to see most of the facial features other than you can see the very, very pointed ears. And he's wearing actually relatively nice robes. Again, hard to see the colors with the fire and the darkness, but it looks more like white and blues. There's another individual that has short, curly brown hair, wearing like red garments, and you can see like these veins of fire coursing through their skin as their eyes are also very bright and ablaze. And those who would know, this is a genasi. As that individual looks over and says, "Oh, hello. Can we help you?"
We're back a little ways, but we're just wondering, you shouldn't be off the road.
Oh, no. We're fine. I assume you don't travel this road too often.
No.
Well, it is true you should probably stay off the road. However, as long as you create fire with magic, you're fine.
All right.
The spirits stay away from magical fire. I must point out again, magical fire.
Well, Thank you for the tip. We didn't know.
Well, now you do. Would you like to join us, or?
Vey looks at Rian.
Yeah,
like,
Rian's gonna kind of like look these two individuals up and down and just trying to take into account their demeanor, everything. What's Rian's vibe that he gets from these two?
Make an insight check.
Oh, you mean an insight check with advantage? Because of my ability. Oh, I don't know. I do my dice.
I'd also like to say the Genasi looks like this in art.
Like what?
oh, pretty.
They look like what? Oh. Wait a minute.
What a handsome young man.
Have you used this art before, Joe?
Yeah, and Rian's backstory.
No way.
Yeah, this is
That's
El Hari. This is
funny.
the dude who we like fed the poop flower to the prison guard.
Oh, it's not that guy then. He looks similar.
Okay.
Not that guy.
I was like, okay.
Sorry, no. No, I'll find another one.
No, you're fine. You're...
Crazy reveal.
That would have been so nonchalant. Oh, that would have been really funny. Okay. All right. Bah. Insight. Ooh, that's a natural 20. Bah. So that's a 26.
Here, we're gonna say he looks like this. There you go.
Adaptability. Oh wow, that guy's serving up some different vibes.
Guys, spicy.
Yeah, okay.
Natural 20. You can see that they have a.
That's what we saw the facts.
You can see that they have a cart with them. The vibe is laid back. These two individuals just seem like they've been around very often on these parts. You do see in their cart with your passive perception, what looks like shovels and pickaxes and what looks like individual items that are kind of wrapped up. With your natural 20 insight, and as well kind of putting together that they are using magical fire and look kind of well off. These look like people who know what adventuring is like, but also like ruin delving.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, so they're like illegal archaeologists. What are those things called?
Grave robbers?
Archaeologists. No,
No, like tomb raid. Like no, that's
Tomb
the-
Raiders.
that's-
Yeah, no, we'll go with that.
Okay. Yeah,
Regular
like,
old
like,
Laura Croft.
Yeah, like they're not like it's been
Moon
long
Knight.
enough that people don't really consider them grave robbing anymore, even though that's
Yeah.
absolutely what they're doing.
Yeah.
But the language around it has just
Also, the way they're kind of presenting themselves kind of feels like people don't really look down upon this because they're going into places that no one really wants to go to anyways.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
no,
just like
like-
free game.
yeah, no, if they want to go die for shit,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's all them.
And I think that taking all that into account, I think that Rian would say, I think we'd be more than happy to at least join you at your fire for a little bit, maybe share some stories. It seems as though you too might have a fair bit of stories to share about the area as we're passing through. It could be useful.
You see that the Genasi this entire time has been like very outspoken and very welcoming.
Yeah.
The other member, however, the elf with the long blonde hair, hasn't really looked up at you all, and you hear him just say, "I don't want to be rude. I'm tired. And as much as I would like company, maybe another time, friends."
Does he look sick? Or like just like is there
No.
some, it does like there's nothing.
No, he just looks like an asshole.
Oh, okay. He just looks sick. Okay,
You can
got it.
just tell. All right.
Yeah.
Is it a recognizable asshole?
Oh my god.
No.
Is it Eldar?
Oh my god.
He turns his head. You can see the scar on his face.
No. Okay. Well, obviously, I think before we go, Rian would just be like, "Oh, that's very understandable." Before we do go our separate ways, is there anything else you could impart with us? Ways to keep us safe on the journey north?
Well, I would say that keeping off the road is ideal, just so you don't get in people's way. A lot of people don't really know to do that, though, so you're fine being on the road, of course. If some sort of spirit calls out to you and tries to coerce you into following them, don't. Just don't do that.
I have a
We've,
feeling that's going to be hard to.
We've kind of gathered that, but it bears repeating considering I know a few people that would definitely want to help a spirit. So I appreciate you telling us that.
Did you say rumors you wanted, or is it just lay of the land currently?
There's rumors. They instantly
Oh,
bringing up rumors.
There's plenty of rumors. Plenty.
I know you're tired, but I must hear a few rumors.
You hear the elf speak up. I'm very tired. And he looks over at the Genasi, and the Genasi puts his hand on his shoulder and says, "Settle down." And he looks over to all of you and says, "Well, we don't have time for a lot. Yes."
Real quick, I was just hoping if I'm sure that all of our the members of our party would like to hear this. Could be helpful to all of them. They're coming. It might be good for everybody to hear this.
You see the Genasi like slowly look back a little bit towards his companion. I don't. It probably would be best if we go our separate ways for now. Maybe catch up in the morning, if you'd like.
That's fair.
Fair.
He leans over. He's going to get cranky.
No, absolutely. Well, absolutely. We'll leave you then, and if we see you in the morning, then we do. Well, tell your. And he kind of looks, and he's like, "Husband, to get some rest."
You see the Genasi look over. You hear that? He said husband.
He was just like looking between them, and he's like, "Well, he said he's gonna get cranky," and he's like, "Well, that seems like a married couple, you know."
Well, maybe we'll run into each other tomorrow. I don't know. He likes to get up early, so we probably won't be here. But if we are, catch us.
All right. Well, have a good night, and I hope you get sleep, and I hope he's not cranky towards you. As he motions at the Ganassi and starts to turn.
Okay. So, you all make your way back to the party, and can relay that information should you choose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
We met a couple and they were cranky. Well, one of them was cranky. But it's safe to go off the road as long as you have magical fire going, apparently.
Well, that's good information to know.
Yeah.
I guess if we want to do that, we can, but we can also just stay on the road.
Yep.
I think that I would feel more comfortable staying on the road. No need to press our luck.
We don't want to go into the haunted ruins that are cursed. That's not something we want to do today.
Oh.
You hear off in the distance.
No. Yeah, but all right. No, I'm joking. All right. Yes. No, we can.
Okay. With that, as you all settle down for the night, who's on first watch?
Oh shit, that's right. Rian has dark vision now. He can be on a watch.
Basil doesn't need a lot of sleep, so she can always be the
Ooh.
first watcher.
Rian would
Rian
like
and
to be
Basil?
on would like to be on watch with Basil. Yeah.
Okay. So Rian and Basil first watch. Who's second watch? We're gonna do 3 watches, by the way, because there's 6 of you.
Hey, Vay, do you want to be on a watch with me?
I would love to be on the watch with you, Gak.
So that leaves Gideon and Yrsa.
Why did you say it like that, Jonathan?
Yes.
Yrsa.
Yrsa.
I'm allowed to.
I'm sorry. You can kill her if you need to.
Oh my god!
Okay, please don't cry.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
I would be devastated, and I will stop for days because I don't do backup characters.
Jesus.
Same, dude.
Same.
Yeah.
Like, this is my baby.
Now, as you all settle down for the night, we can end the session here and pick up with conversations, or we can continue. What would you guys like to do?
I literally
it would-
I just DM'd you being like, what time do we end?
It's just, it's just like we're like a little loosey-goosey. You know? I think we should end here and pick up with Rian and Basil.
I would agree, just because with the conversation Rian and Basil are going to have, it'll be better if we can have that conversation and then eventually go into the group conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will say to those who are watching, thank you for watching. We appreciate you, and we will see you next time on Evrand's session 19. And we are now, the party has left Wobrooke. We are heading in a different direction.
Woo.
Thanks for watching.
Gak puts alarm around everything. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.